about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuff and things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Good morning. It is a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of GCR. Thank you again to our buddy Chris Erich. I love it. I love it. I'm a big fan. And Jeremy's never going to do the other thing. I don't know why we allowed him to convince us that he was going to. Like, he was like, I'll make my own song. It's not going to do that.
You never know.
I knew it as he was saying it. He still hasn't done the Mayo Dogs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Also, how we doing on...
We're doing.
Yeah, we haven't tried in a little while, have we?
No.
Yeah, I figured that was probably the case. Hi, good morning, Glenn Clark Radio. I mean, you know what you're getting around here. You're not surprised.
Compiled lists of
Yeah?
places.
Oh, we got binders full of women, huh? See how well that worked for Mitt Romney. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. We got a lot to do over the course of the next 2 or so hours. Drew allegedly will be stopping by, although won't break my heart. Oh, no, something came up. I'm so sorry. Well, God, we'd have to do NBA Corner without Drew? There's no chance he knows what happened in the Indiana game last night. Right? No chance.
Should I just play it like when?
Zero chance that he knows. Yeah, I would have it ready.
Okay.
I would have it prepared. Drew's allegedly going to stop by. We'll find out a little bit more about DeAndre Hopkins. Perhaps you've heard Danan Hughes, Chiefs Color Analyst, former wide receiver. What did DeAndre Hopkins exactly have left to offer in Kansas City? And what might he have left to offer here in Baltimore? We'll try to find that out. We will check in down in Sarasota. I'll let Stan talk about it if he wants. An eventful last 24 hours for our friend Stan the Fan Charles, but we'll head down there. And before we finish up today, Lysander Rehnstrom, Navy basketball captain, future Marine. But before he does that, he's got something else in mind, which is winning a Patriot League title tonight and going to the NCAA Tournament. So we will check in with Lysander before they play American this evening for the PL title and a spot in March Madness. So that's all coming up on the program today. Indeed, he made it in. I know he's devastated.
I got about 30 minutes.
Oh?
We got a big match today against Curly. So
well, I'm going to guess that's not until the afternoon. I don't think they play them in the middle of the school.
He's got a whole process, obviously.
What's your pregame ritual? What's your
light some sage?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, right. So candles all over the room. He does yoga.
You don't want to know.
It's a whole thing. What's up with you?
All good. Disappointed, but it is what it is.
In Towson?
No, Joey Bosa going to the Bills.
You really wanted Joey Bosa?
I don't know if you know him, but he
used to be good, yeah.
He used to be pretty good.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys that used to be good.
This has been a tough week.
Yeah.
Tigers and Tiger.
Unbelievable.
Tigers
right?
and Tiger.
And to think, I thought this was the year that he played 2 rounds of golf.
Oh, I thought you meant them. Well, you knew what was going to happen to them.
I mean, come on.
Jeez, at least Delaware didn't win last night. That would have really ruined the whole thing.
I mean, I don't know. Would it have, or is it worse that they
were a 12 seed?
I understand.
They won 5 times.
That doesn't change what happened 2 nights ago.
Drew gets it because Delaware sucks. We hate Delaware.
Oh, we don't hate them.
No, we do.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but the recent president was from there.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And
look what he did for us.
I know, they gave us the best quarterback in Ravens. Until
he gave us the guy we currently
about
have
5 years ago.
That's the way it goes. That's the way that it goes. I'm sure you're
going to the Cavaliers. Oh, I'll save that for the segment.
Yeah, for NBA Corner, dog. What are you doing? Would you settle down over there? You get all hot and bothered.
Well, it's a match day. I got a lot. Got a lot on my mind.
This sounds like you're a little bit worried about today's match. You're coming in here losing your mind.
First match, you never know.
Well, you coach the boys up. They got to
No,
be
they're
prepared.
coached up, but gotta go do it now.
I don't know if you've heard, but I've been speaking to a lot of teams recently. It's a really weird thing that's been going on.
Why haven't you
this
asked
year.
Glenn to?
I've been speaking to a lot of teams.
give a pep talk.
This is a whole revelation. Charlie had me speak to Loyola. That didn't go so great. They lost to Hopkins, although it was way closer than it should have been.
You
to be fair.
were the featured speaker.
I was the featured speaker at the pregame.
And what'd you tell them?
Oh, we talked about accountability. We had a whole conversation about it. It was good.
Yeah, that went well.
Spoke to
Nice one, Charlie.
I spoke to Spalding last week.
Spalding, what team?
Lacrosse.
Okay.
Had a conversation with them.
How'd that go?
They won like 23-1 or something.
Well, they didn't
like
need
that.
you then.
Probably not,
Right.
but I'd still like to think.
What
of
is
it.
this, a new gig you have or something?
It's really weird,
Glenn
man.
Clark Accountability, Inc.?
Charlie invited me to the pregame dinner that they do.
Okay. And then said, Glenn,
And
why
I
don't you,
s- and
why
I
don't you
said-
give the boys some of your wisdom?
I said, "Yeah, I'll come out to the pregame dinner." And of
Right.
course,
Where was
you know,
that?
This was at Sab's. It was at Sabatino's. Yeah, right. Like again.
Wait. Back up here,
Right.
because I got to grill Ryan Eigenberg about this. You had a dinner. When was the game?
The Friday night dinner before the Saturday game. It's a great idea. I don't know if I'm supposed to give away all the secrets here.
Okay.
But the idea is just
Most
go
teams
ahead.
do
there's
it, right?
no phones allowed, right? Like,
Okay.
Get all the boys together in a setting, no phones allowed. You can't pull a phone out. You need to interact with each other. You need to have a conversation.
Right. Sure.
It's a phenomenal idea. Charlie has some words, and he tries to have someone speak. But
And now, is this because it was Hopkins?
no, they do it for every game.
Every game.
Yep, they do it for every game.
But we do a breakfast.
They do it for every home game.
Every home. That's what
Every
we do.
home game,
We do
or
a breakfast.
every game they're not traveling ahead of time.
Right. So we do a breakfast. We don't do it for the non-conference matches, but when we start the conference matches, we do a breakfast at school.
Similar. I know Hopkins does
Now
something
wait a
at
minute. Now,
Sammy's.
they play at. Let's get this right now.
Mm-hmm.
The game was when?
It was Saturday at noon or
Saturday at
1,
noon.
yeah.
Friday night they go to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me that they don't then go to a hotel.
No, they can't. Are you
Okay,
kidding me?
okay.
Have you seen? You
No,
looked
okay.
at budgets
No,
recently.
okay. Just to
there
make sure,
is
like,
no
we're not-
such, no.
I love Charlie,
such
but still, like,
option. no.
All right, so they
such
eat
choice.
dinner
Yes.
and then they go home.
Then they go back home. Yeah, they go on their way. Right.
Gotcha.
But
That's
the
a great
idea
idea.
is, it's a tremendous idea.
Yeah.
It was when he told me about it,
Yeah.
we were just talking about stories that we could tell, and he was talking about, I'm not a superstitious guy. I did mix it up at Sabatino's, and then we started talking about it, and he said, "Have you never come out to the?" I was like, "No, I've never been out." He said, "Well, I'd love to have you out." And I said, "Okay, great, I'll come out." And then once I told him I was coming out,
Did you
this
get
is
a
actually on
Did you get
Valentine's.
a bookmaker salad?
No,
They're
but
so
I
good.
mean, trust me, I love a bookmaker
Oh
salad.
my gosh.
We went out. It was on Valentine's Day, so Mrs. Clark wasn't thrilled about that part. The game was the 15th. It's just the way that it worked out. I'd agreed to do it before I
wrong
looked
with
at the
you?
calendar.
Okay.
But nobody actually wants to go out on Valentine's
Oh, that's
Day
true.
anyway.
Yeah. You
You're
go out on Thursday or Sunday.
correct. Like, we found another day that
It's like
was
buying roses that day.
Exactly
I'll just give them
right.
to you Wednesday. But
100
Valentine's Day is Friday. Yeah, but we saved $60.
This is the correct day.
All right.
Trust me, I got this.
Valentine's
one right.
week.
This is not the first year we were dating. We've been together for a little while. We can
Right.
handle this. So yeah, and then he said, "Well, why don't you speak to the guys?" And I said, "All right, I'll speak to the guys. No problem." And so we had a conversation. And apparently they liked it so much that Sean Cottle, their assistant, told Evan Hockel down at Spalding about it, and he called me and said, "Can I get you to come down here and speak to the guys?" And I said, "You got it. I'll come down there and speak to the guys." So I'm doing the tour right now. So you just let me know whenever it's needed. Apparently the lacrosse team didn't
I'm
need
good.
it. How about that the other day, huh?
Yeah, 15-14 over Hill.
Holy crap.
I think it's the first time they ever beat Hill.
Beating the number one team in the country.
I think it's the first time they ever beat them.
I say in the country, but Hill, I guess, the number one team in the world.
Well, they're now part of us.
Oh, right. That's a great point. Not yet. I don't think it's
Well, they're
official.
gonna be.
Right, understood.
Right.
I don't think it's official yet.
But the idea's been thrown around.
Right, 100%. I think we're
And
moving.
I feel like that's what they're going to wind up being.
That's you're leaning in that direction.
And the name of the whole thing is going to be Northern Minnesota.
North Minnesota.
So there'll be a North Minnesota and a South Minnesota,
Right.
just like there is in North Carolina and
Dakota,
South
and
Carolina,
well,
and
right,
North Dakota
they're
and
neighbors
South Dakota,
right there, North Dakota and
So
South
North
Dakota.
Minnesota and South Minnesota.
The whole thing will be North Minnesota. They're not going to break
Well,
it
I
off.
don't know if you
into-
know or not. I don't know how much you know about geography. It is
Right.
north of
Well, it's
Minnesota.
north of a lot of places, though.
Right.
It's not just north of Minnesota. It's also north of, say, like Washington and also
All right.
New York.
North Minnesota and South Minnesota.
That's wild. I didn't realize that's what they were looking at. Wow.
And they're excited.
Oh, I've heard that.
They're very excited.
That's why
it's going to be a good thing for them.
That's why during the anthem they've actually been saying you are
USA.
going to be a part of the. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
USA.
I think. Look, guys had some kind of crazy ideas. This is not a bad one.
Yeah, this isn't a bad one.
This is not a bad one.
This one's not.
By the way, Saturday Night Live just absolutely killing him every Saturday night.
No. You see, I read a study the other day. This is a straight shoot. I read a study the other day that there is concern
that it's helping.
It's helping because now watch the sketches.
Okay.
He's always the one. They're always dunking on someone else during the sketches.
Okay.
The guy that does Trump is one of the greatest impersonations.
Who is it?
James Austin Johnson is his name. It's one of the greatest impersonations in Saturday
It's
Night
unbelievable.
history. But he only is on the show for the sake of
That's it.
playing Trump.
But it's unbelievable. I mean, it might as well just be him.
The segments are all dunking on like Marco Rubio for
last week
falling into the couch,
and
or dunking
Musk.
on Crazy Elon or something like.
Hey, bite your tongue.
He's always the one that seems to be the most in charge in all of the segments. And the study has said that while, yes, it's actually making his...
Well, they kill him in the Weekend Update.
Well, yeah, they certainly do that. They kill him probably for the most part. But this impression, the argument is that it's actually made him look stronger and more competent because he's always the one. Like his stupid thing where he just stream of conscious says whatever.
Right.
Like it actually looks like he's in control and not just a maniac who's losing it because he's 80 years old. I can't imagine.
He's got a nice golf swing.
Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of what matters.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad we got to the...
as much as he's just not a bad player for 80.
God. Thank you.
You know, he won the club championship.
I heard he won every club championship.
Two handicaps.
The last 50 of them or something. Like
two handicaps.
He's never been defeated. It's remarkable. Him and Kim Jong.
I know that guy.
Oh, yeah?
That's Steve Reddy.
Hi, Steve. Ready Ice?
What's he doing
You
here?
want to go run him down?
No.
No. So you some money?
No.
You go in some money?
No.
You sure?
What are we talking about? What's going on?
Well, I don't know if you heard the Ravens signed a player.
Oh, please. His
Ricard's back. Yeah.
Christmas of his career.
This is okay. Fine.
No, I wrote this morning. I understand it. He's going to. You're not bringing him in here to catch 10 balls a game, and
he's not here to be
yards.
DeAndre. This is remember
Right.
the famous you always loved it when you said if you could ask Tiger Woods anything.
Didn't used
and
to be DeAndre Hopkins.
He's not here to be
Right.
DeAndre
He's just
Hopkins.
here to be a guy.
He's not. It was bizarre to me, the reaction from people like, "Oh, this would have been a great signing in 2021." You couldn't have had him for $6 million in 2021.
It's like saying the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. This would be great to have him for $8 million.
Yes,
he used to make 40.
Right, but Aaron Rodgers.
He's going to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, almost certainly, and he has to be. It's that, or they're going to go back to Russell Wilson. Jesus, I mean, like they almost when they made the DK Metcalf move, they kind of had to do.
That's what I mean. Don't you think that when they were talking to Rodgers, he said, "I'm not coming there unless you have people to throw to," and they're like, "Okay, we'll go get somebody for you." And
Which
he's
is
like,
hilarious. Like Aaron Rodgers could still throw to these people.
Right. Well, maybe.
Oh, I'm so sure.
Yeah.
that he's going to be the. That's the crazy part is you might just be better off. Russell Wilson can't make any other throw, but he can still throw the ball downfield. Right. You might just be better off trotting him out there and saying, "Good luck, chuck it down, see what happens."
Right.
The idea that DeAndre Hopkins is past his prime is part of why he's here. I think the problem is we're used to in Baltimore the years where it was Mike Wallace and Michael
Jeremy
Crabtree
Maclin.
but they needed them to be the guy.
Right.
And so we're like, oh, just another guy, 20
Kelly
years.
Washington. Right. I get it.
He had a great dance.
Oh, my gosh.
I did enjoy the
Oh.
I don't remember what it was called, but yeah,
I don't
did
either.
enjoy the
When
dance.
he'd get a first
that he
down. Make a
did.
first down, we'd be losing 31-10.
They didn't really lose 31-10 much during that. That was after Harbaugh and Flacco arrived. There weren't a lot of 31-10 losses. There were one or two, I think. But yeah, like the idea that there would be anything negative.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's here right now to be your third wide receiver.
Right. He's going to be a slot guy, and
Well, I think they'll play him on the outside because they want to play Zay more on the inside.
Okay.
But he's not here to be.
Totally agree. If he catches 6 touchdowns, that'd be great.
Yes. If he has 700, they need him to be Odell Beckham from 2 years ago, maybe plus a small bit.
Right.
They would like him to be more of a red zone threat than Odell Beckham proved to be that year.
Yeah, sure.
But Odell Beckham, the thing did they pay him way too much? Of course they paid him way too much, but they had to appease their quarterback.
Right.
They paid him way too much, but what they got from him was every game 2 to 3 really helpful catches. One more threat to add to what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They've got their guys.
Better than Des Bryant.
And certainly when Des Bryant showed up here, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
The question is he better than Nelson Aguilar? And
I'm better than Nelson Aguilar.
I think he's still better than Nelson Aguilar.
Yes.
I think.
By the way, you said he's past his prime. I got news for you. We all are.
No, not you. Not you.
We all are.
Drew came in the other day, barged into the studio in the middle of interviewing Keaton Mitchell. He barges into the studio.
Well, it was recorded.
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh.
You're not supposed. We're supposed to pretend like all these things are lies.
My bad.
Drew. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Okay.
Now on this show, I acknowledge when something's recorded because you're going to see me wearing a different shirt. That's the beauty of no video over there. No one knows.
Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
My bad.
Now you've blown my cover. I think I might get arrested or something like that. It's a new day in this
Can we
country.
get Gus Edwards back?
Do you want Gus Edwards back?
For like less than $3 million, yeah, sure.
I mean, like I'm not saying
He's not bad.
No, but like he's not going to
What
be.
happened to him out there?
But I
He
mean,
was just Gus Edwards, I guess.
yeah. I mean, Gus Edwards is a red zone or short yardage guy, and you've kind of got
If
that
you can't
guy.
be efficient out there in those uniforms, then you might as well hang it up.
That's a great point. Got to have that.
Who
Anyway,
they just signed. They just signed somebody.
they
decent,
signed
right?
Najee Harris.
yeah.
Oh, Najee Harris,
They
right?
signed Najee
Right.
Harris. That's why.
Oh, right. So now they got Harris and Dobbins, or is Dobbins gone too?
Well, Dobbins was a 1-year deal too. I don't think he's signed yet, has he?
No, I guess
I don't
not.
think he has.
yeah, he's that's over. Najee Harris will be the number one guy.
Well, yes, he's definitely there to be the number one guy. There's no
Right.
debate about that. But I don't think.
And
I
what's
don't know what the
Pittsburgh
other
going to do for
options
running
are.
back?
Genty.
Everybody thinks
Ash-
they're drafting.
Ashton
Ashton
Oh,
Genty.
they're going to draft
Yeah.
that kid.
But I mean, only one team can draft him, and the Steelers again still need a quarterback at this point. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Where'd that kid go? Boise.
Yeah.
Boise.
This is good stuff. Yeah, barges into the studio. Just
Now they're saying Nick Chubb might sign with the Steelers.
he had no idea the interview was recorded. By the way, let's make that abundantly clear. He had no clue. He barges into the studio.
He's like an educated guess.
Yeah, he grabs at. I think we were trying the Ritz hot honey crackers that day.
Oh, and you didn't
And
try them yet, and he
I
just
said, Drew, just do the segment with us. And then I was willing to tease that, the golf show was coming up next and whatever he was going to be talking about Minwoo Lee or whatever he was going to do for the next 2 hours. I said, just do the next segment with us and you can try the crackers.
I didn't hear him say that.
And then he just walks out and disappears. Just disappears. And we don't see him again until 4 o'clock.
I didn't hear you say that.
And I had this moment last night because Weinman forgot something. I don't remember what it was. He forgot he was in charge of snacks for book club last night. Weinman forgot. And I was like, oh, I'm just dealing with old men. That's just what this is.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much close to it. I don't
Like,
know
if they
how
just-
old's Ken?
He's not
52?
He's not. Yeah, he's not your age,
He's
but
in
he's
his 50s, right?
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
If they put their pants
How old's the
on,
other
call it-
lunatic? How old
Which
is he?
one?
His partner.
Well, they've got 3 guys on that show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name? Barbalos is like
Yeah,
28.
he's like 22 or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, 100%.
What's the other guy?
Jason?
45?
He's definitely older than me.
Yeah.
I think he's probably closer to 50.
45 going on 13.
Telling here taking shots. What are you doing? Oh, did you hear the bit?
the
Oh
Loyola.
God, actually, you'd
I
like
went to
this.
Loyola, so I take shots
Oh,
at
right,
any of
that's a
those
good point.
people.
Did you hear the Boston radio station?
Uh-uh.
Oh man, hang on a second. Let me get
No.
this so Griffin can play.
No.
It's amazing.
I did not hear this either.
I don't. Felger and Maz is the show.
I don't know them.
Yeah. One of them is Tony Maserati, who used to be a columnist, or maybe is still a columnist for like the Boston Globe or the Boston. I don't even know if these.
Okay.
Let me be honest with you. I couldn't tell you what newspapers exist any longer.
Sure.
It's
Baltimore Banner. Actually, I guess that's not. Do they print?
the Baltimore Banner is just online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then never mind.
It's called digital.
You're right. I don't
the
know.
Sun still.
Yeah, they still print.
They still have a right.
They still have a real newspaper.
Yeah.
Press box.
I put real in air quotes.
It's a magazine more. It's not really a newspaper. So I honest to God, don't know. Like, does the New York Post still do a print?
Yes.
Who still does print newspapers? Like,
I mean, pretty much everybody.
remember we used to know who the beat writer was for like every
Yeah.
news.
Oh.
There was a time, baseball, football. You could ask us, hey, who's the beat writer for the Denver?
Sure,
and we
sure,
would
sure.
know every beat writer that covered every team. You all right over there? I don't know what's going on with him.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, all right. He's losing it. All right. So anyway, so they're on. I believe it's called the Sports Hub, which I just.
I'll be all right.
What the hell is happening?
It sounds like he's at a Cheech and Chong concert or something.
I was legitimately worried that he's about to die.
No, he's all right. He's not done. He's a young
Are
kid.
you sure? Are you sure?
You don't have COVID, do you?
No, I don't have COVID.
All right.
He's got this cough thing. I don't know what it is.
COVID.
You just said I have this cough thing.
Yeah, COVID.
I don't know what it is.
Right.
And Drew's like, right.
It's called COVID.
Yes, that's what it's called.
COVID-25.
All right. Do you have your Twitter account up, Griffin? Oh, my God. Do we need to take a break? Are you sure?
Well, he's not part of the show.
I know, but I can still hear it. It's all I'm hearing.
Put your headset on.
That's a good point. I could put my headset on, I guess. All right. I just sent it to your Twitter. So they're on the air on Monday.
Okay.
I guess they're the afternoon show on the Sports Hub. So they're in the first few hours of free agency. So free agency on Monday started at noon. The tampering. As technically, free agency doesn't even start until this afternoon.
Right.
But they're in the tampering period, started at noon, and it's when we first started hearing about deals. And, of course, the Patriots had a boatload of money to spend. We found out yesterday, according to Albert Breer, that they were prepared to spend $25 million per on Ronnie Stanley.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they weren't given that option. The Baltimore Ravens got Ronnie Stanley off the table before that. So they're reacting, and they're not happy. They're not happy with how things are going. I'll let you hear from Felger and Maz up on that. And was this the radio? Or that was EEI that had fun with you, the other station.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You extended yourself?
No.
No. Have you convinced someone to come here who has no reason to be here? Categorically not. So, you haven't really done anything. I mean, other than improve the team at the margins, you'd like to think. And in the aggregate, when you add up all the money, you're going to be able to say they spent. I guess we're breaking news.
This is Breaking Sports News.
Powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
On 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Per rap sheet on Twitter, Milton Williams to the Patriots.
So that is one.
That's a big one.
So that's going to stop me in my tracks. You extended yourself?
They're not signing anybody.
That's pretty funny.
The hell are they doing over there? What is going on?
That's pretty funny.
We have a breaking news.
Milton Williams of the Patriots.
So good. It's just so good.
And the graphic on the screen is they spent $60 million on Carlton Davis. It was
Yeah, but I get where,
yeah, I know.
You know, just so funny. Can't get anybody to come here. Our pets' heads are falling off. No one will sign with the Patriots. Milton Williams, the top free agent available, he just signed with the Patriots. So good.
Who do you
so
like
good.
this weekend?
In what?
Hello?
The Big Ten Tournament?
No.
In the
only thing that matters.
The
Ivy League tournament?
What golf tournament
the
is this
players.
weekend? The players?
Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I like Chi-Chi. That's always going to be my choice.
I'm on Wyndham Clark.
Too soon.
I'm on Wyndham Clark this weekend.
My cousin Wyndham.
Akshay Bhatia.
Oh, yeah. I definitely knew that was a thing.
Shane Lowry.
Hey, I'm going to need you to help. We're doing
Think about Maryland's chances. Maryland know who they play yet?
No.
They play
won't.
the winner of, there's a 3-team thing,
yes,
right?
it's tomorrow is Illinois. Tonight is
Ohio
State
and Iowa?
That does sound
yes.
right, yes.
Yeah, come to me for all your breaking.
Oh, we're going to get to you for NBA Corner. We're looking forward to that. He forgot about
So
it.
Terps, and then if they win that one, they would play
Michigan. Yeah, Michigan or Purdue or
whoever
USC
comes
or
out of that
Rutgers.
quadrant.
right,
Yeah.
and then that's where that ends. Okay.
Yeah. Who are they losing to in that quadrant?
Well, if they play Illinois, I got a bad feeling they might lose. I don't know how you lose to Brad Underwood, but if they play Illinois, they might lose to Illinois.
Well, I think this is the funny part. I don't really care about anything related to this weekend.
You think it matters? Are they going to? What's the max they could be in the tournament?
I don't think they can
Could
get
they
to
be-
a 3. I don't think
You
they
don't
can.
think so?
I don't think they can get to a 3.
I think if
Even if they
win
won,
the Big Ten
if they won the Big
tournament.
Ten tournament, you don't think they'd be a 3 or a 2?
If that involves a win over Michigan State, they would have to beat Michigan State in the final.
What are they in the net right now?
They don't have a hair on their rear if they don't stomp on that Spartan head.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, if they were to play Michigan State in the final and beat Michigan State, I think that they would have a chance. But I still don't know.
So what's the high end? They get beat 78-71 on Thursday night to
I don't
Illinois.
know that they drop any further than
Friday night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Friday.
I don't know that they drop any further than a 4. And even if
Okay.
they do, what's the difference between being a 4 and a 5?
Well, you don't have to play the 12.
Okay, so in the world where we're all terrified that the 12 seeds have some sort of magic pixie dust that allows them to come up with upsets, sure, but there have been plenty of 13 over 4 upsets as well.
Gotcha.
We just haven't made it a trope the way that we've made 12 over 5 upsets. And if you look, there are some power conference teams that actually have a chance to be a 12. But
I have some. Hold on a second. Keep going.
This is what I'm talking about, man. This is the old man thing. He's going to see Steve Reddy, I think.
No, you just say you didn't like him.
He's an old man. Like this is just what's this is what's happened here. We're in the middle of something, and he just gets up because his brain is just. Are we sure? Can you check to make sure he has pants on?
Maryland is 11th in the net. So
can you look underneath?
11
Yeah, but
what?
that's not the. Then people have this notion. That
I know.
the
Well,
net,
and then the AP poll, then they're also 11.
the AP poll has zero to do.
I understand
with
that as
the
well,
seedings.
but
nothing. Literally no
You guys can
influence
keep playing all you want.
whatsoever.
Ain't nobody beating Auburn.
Well, they just. I don't know if you heard. They just lost
When?
Saturday.
Well, I mean, in the moving.
He does
forward.
NBA corner, not college
Right,
basketball.
that's
Yeah,
not
moving
his,
forward. I mean.
Oh, okay. That was the last one. They had to get that one out of their system, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's true. They weren't playing for anything Saturday.
It's a good point. It didn't matter, technically. Technically, it
Who
didn't
beat
matter.
him? Alabama?
Yes.
Tell me I don't know.
Yeah. You asked it as a question.
I knew.
Yeah. Then why didn't you just say it emphatically?
Has Maryland lost in lacrosse yet?
No, they have not.
Anybody else not lost?
No.
Virginia lose?
Yes, Virginia's lost. They didn't lose to Towson on Saturday.
Yeah, they clobbered them, right? It was here, wasn't it?
No, it was in Houston.
What? What on earth?
True. I don't know, man. I think that was a Booker Corrigan special, so I'm not going to
Down in
question.
Houston?
Yeah. They just took trying to take lacrosse to
Took
places.
two teams down to Houston and played.
I get
What was
the
the crowd?
Well, did you see that there were 10,000 people at the Maryland Notre Dame game in Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah.
I mean, I think the idea is there isn't lacrosse here, so like all of the people that you think you can get a crowd of, everyone that watches lacrosse in Texas will show up in Houston because it's the only chance they'll have to see lacrosse. So I get the concept. I do. Like it's sort of if we could take the Jaguars and Cardinals to London and we could sell the game
an
out.
idea.
Right, yeah, right? Something along
Go
those
over there and
lines.
play.
So I think it's a similar
Kneel
concept.
down while the anthem's being played.
That wasn't the Cardinal.
It wasn't.
It was.
It was a bird.
Believe that's true. You are right about that. That is
All right,
true.
so let's go through the players. Let's just go through the pairings.
Let's not do that.
No.
We're not gonna do
Wyndham Clark.
that. That's your guy.
That's my guy.
That's what he's got.
I kind of like Fleetwood this week too.
No, I thought he passed.
No, that's Mick Fleetwood. This is Tommy
Oh, okay.
Fleetwood. They're not
I
related.
just could have sworn.
They're unrelated.
Did he pass?
Mick Fleetwood?
Yeah.
No, I think the woman passed.
Christine McVie?
Yeah.
Did she? She did pass.
Yeah, she's
yeah. Is
passed
she the
away.
only one that's
Keep
passed?
up with it. I think
How
Mick
would
Fleetwood
you
did
know?
too.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Who did you kill off the other day, or did not realize they had passed? We had a situation like this. He played the role of you the other day.
Yeah, I killed somebody off. I forget who it was.
Or I think it was the other way
like
around. I think
yesterday.
you suggested
John Oates.
No, John Oates is still with us. He's still
Oh, I know that.
okay.
I know that.
No, he suggested somebody would be.
I forget what it was. Was it
Carl Weathers.
That was
Rest in
what
peace.
started it all.
Rest in peace.
That started everything.
How do you think the
was
Happy
when you-
Gilmore 2 is going to be?
Not. There's no chance I'm watching that. Mick
do you
Fleetwood
mean?
is indeed still with us. He is still-
Somebody else died though.
Christine McVie definitely passed.
Right.
You think somebody else from Fleetwood Mac passed?
Yeah. But I don't know who all's in the band.
John McVie is still with us.
Stevie Nicks is still here.
Stevie Nicks is definitively still
know
here,
how.
and Lindsey Buckingham is still here.
Okay, so they're all still around.
Well, I mean, they've also had part-time members about 100 times over the
Right.
years, but of the core 5, Christine McVie is the only one who's
Okay.
no longer with us.
Okay.
So we got that going for us.
Well, how old Stevie Nicks? 72?
75, I would say. I would say.
She was a musical guest on SNL. Was it last?
Yeah, she was last year.
Fall.
100%. And she did that.
I mean,
she actually, when they did that.
however much you think you've spent in your life on your house, she spent that much on cocaine.
Well, I mean, they all did. Like, what are you?
I mean,
It's the 70s.
Christine McVie.
for her, it was the 2000 and.
Sorry, Stevie Nicks is 76.
Okay.
76
That's
years
pretty good
old.
for 76.
Stevie Nicks. She did that.
What's her real name?
I don't
Stevie
know the
Nicks.
answer.
No.
But it's close. It's Stephanie Nicks.
Yeah, it's not Stevie.
Nailed it. Look at you. Look at you.
I told you that.
Yeah. Guy.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
I told you it's not Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, well, you're 1 for 1. You got that going for you.
Stephanie Nicks.
And you knew that Mick Fleetwood was alive, so you're 2 for 2, really.
Yeah, right. No, I thought he was dead.
What a day. I thought he was dead. I thought he was no longer.
Okay, I was right. Okay.
You were right. He doesn't even remember that he was right. 2 for 2. We have anything else to say about DeAndre Hopkins?
When is when are they announcing that Grayson Rodriguez is done for the year?
Probably. No, he'll make 4 starts in like May,
and that'll be it.
Yeah, and then that'll be that for Grayson Rodriguez.
He'll be getting Garrett Cole surgery.
Well, I don't know if it'll be Tommy John, but
how about that with Garrett Cole?
I mean,
now, how does that happen?
Wait, how does it? What do you mean? How does it happen?
He hasn't done anything since November.
Well, he has thrown the ball. That does like you think these guys don't throw the ball?
But
like,
I mean, how?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're asking. How? Do you?
It's called the off season.
I understand that, but do you think they don't ever go to a mound and throw?
I guess. Gavin Sheets had 2 homers yesterday.
Did he?
He did.
Well, is he going to be on the team?
I don't
It's a deep
think so.
It's a deep team.
I don't think so. But he did. He now has 5 homers. I think he might lead the team in homers this spring. He was having a woeful time.
Sounds like Jake Fox.
Now he's 265. But he did hit 2 homers yesterday. It was off the White Sox, so I don't know what stock you put in that.
It kind of doesning. They're like, I thought we didn't schedule the AAA team until the last game.
Who
of spring
is their
training.
first baseman?
Is Cronenworth still there?
Yeah, Cronenworth is still there.
He'll get hurt at some point.
Probably. Yes.
So yeah, I mean he'll be
probably
up.
is true.
Gavin will be up at some point.
It's probably true.
Okay.
That was Gavin Sheets' corner.
Right.
It's the new segment.
The hot
that we do.
corner with Gavin Sheets.
Right.
Arise is still there, so Louise Arise.
I had forgotten.
Oh.
I had forgotten.
Yeah, Gavin better. What about in right field? Gavin can patrol right field for them.
Jason Hayward.
Okay.
So he's got a chance.
40 years old. What is
Well,
Jason?
The problem is they're both
definitely-
left-handed, yeah. So
Yeah, but Hayward's going to definitely get hurt.
yeah.
How old is Jason Hayward? Seriously.
37?
That sounds probably more or less.
He's apparently
right.
only 35, which is shocking.
He's 37.
Like, you think this is a Dominican thing?
MLB.com does have him on the projected making the opening day roster here.
Gavin?
Yeah.
They have him
As the but like the 14th guy, but yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Good for him.
Got that going for him. It's not
having
nothing.
a
it
kid.
could be
They're having a
13th
kid
guy.
soon.
I love that. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Imagine how much better. Like, imagine if he does make the team. How much better your life is. You went from being mired with the Chicago White Sox to living in San Diego. God, like yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked by the Dodgers, but so is everybody else. So
Jason
such is
Hayward
life.
is 35.
Yeah, we said that.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's okay. But Mick Fleetwood is dead.
Are we sure?
I don't think so. We come back in NBA corner on the other side. We'll play a little Would You Rather Wednesday at the top of the hour. Danan Hughes, Chiefs Color Analyst, will tell us a little bit more about DeAndre Hopkins. That's on the way. Drew's here. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
COVID-19 and flu viruses are circulating in Maryland. But don't worry. Protection is within arm's reach. Protect your health with this year's COVID-19 and flu shots. It's safe and convenient to get them both at the same time. Flex your protection. For more information, visit health.maryland.gov/vaccines.
This message paid for by the Maryland Department of Health.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
March is a slam dunk at Live Casino. Catch all the basketball action and more at Sports and Social. Enter our $80,000 Dolce & Gabbana giveaway on March 28th. And catch the Baltimore baseball jersey giveaway March 31st. Take your shot at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Glenn Clark and I sit down for a Q&A with Orioles owner David Rubenstein, discussing what he learned from his first year as owner, his goals both on and off the field, and his involvement in baseball decisions. Also inside, Brooks DeBose profiles new Oriole Tyler O'Neill, and we meet college lacrosse players from around the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the O's, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Back in here on GCR. I think that's above him, unfortunately. I think that's not a choice that he has to make, if I'm being honest. We're talking about something off the air, just different conversation. Yeah, Proctor, very funny. I did not speak to Towson on Monday, but maybe they should have called. Maybe they should have asked.
You're saying it could have hurt, I guess.
I sure hell couldn't be worse, right? They lost to a 12 seed, Griffin. I feel like it's hard to be worse than that. It is a Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Would You Rather Wednesday scenarios are up. Facebook.com/Glenn Clark Radio, at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, and I'll get them up as well on Blue Sky. Get your responses in. Someone who participates will win a $30 gift card to Glory Days Grill. Don't forget, Stan and Luke down in Sarasota this week. All brought to you by HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, as well as Easy Pass, Costas Inn, and Live Casino and Hotel. Check out their content, Facebook.com/PressBoxSports and PressBoxOnline.com. All right. This one, I think, is going to be the best one he's done yet. Let's go ahead.
Or did you, before I do that, did you hear about Trump bought the Apollo Field, bought the Tesla?
No. But
he did. He said he was going to buy a Tesla, right, to support.
Yes.
And he did.
Because why would we have an emoluments clause? Why would we ever?
Well, I'm just letting you know the guy followed through on what he said he was going to do.
No. Oh, you know what? That's a great point. Nailed it. It's time for NBA Corner with Drew Forrester. No one follows the association like our guy Drew. Now, here to tell you what's been happening in the league, he is Drew Forrester.
I do have two things real quick, kind of breaking news, not related at all to basketball, but just real quick. DeMar Hamlin is going back to the Bills on a one-year deal.
Good for DeMar Hamlin.
And Brooks Koepka has decided to fulfill his
military
contract.
obligation.
He was hinting that he might try to get out of it. He is staying with Liv.
Great. Now I'll make sure I still don't watch.
What a loyal guy.
Yeah, right.
Well, wow, you guys are so down with Brooks Koepka. All right. Cavaliers last night did something they have done now 2 times during the season, which is pretty remarkable. They have now won 15 consecutive games 2 times during the regular season, and last night they clinched the Central Division title. I didn't even know they still had divisions, but they clinched the Central Division title. 55-10 on the year for the Cavaliers, and en route to, obviously, also clinching the Eastern Conference, as they have an 8-game lead over the Celtics.
How many Cleveland Cavaliers players can you name?
Larry Nance is the only one you got to worry about.
Thank you very much.
And LeBron.
Thank you very much.
You wanted. There's 2.
I you know what? I didn't think you were going to get 1. So you got twice.
Oh, wait a minute. Mark Price.
Mark Price, 100%.
There's 3.
A legend.
There's 3.
You got it.
So there you go. Wizards still stuck on 13.
Show me.
Wizards still stuck on 13 wins, but again, because this is. I have a coach's mentality.
Right.
They are still in it.
They are. They have
They're
not been eliminated. That's
alive.
a great point.
13-51 on the year for the Wizards.
That's what they've been saying about Calvert Hall Golf. Technically not eliminated
Nope,
yet.
We're still right there, rolling along. In the West, it's still Oklahoma City rolling 53-12 on the year. Denver now 11 back with month and a half left in the regular season-ish, I guess. Speaking of the season dwindling, Alex Ovechkin with 17
that seems
games left.
Doesn't seem like it's very related to the topic at hand.
I'm just letting you know, Alex Ovechkin, 17
right,
games left.
I get it.
9 goals to go.
And this is NBA Corner.
I know
we're doing right now.
But the Cavaliers, 15 games in a row they've won. Some teams, I saw a note, I think, only 5 teams in the NBA have won 15 games in a row or more since 2000.
So we're
Cavaliers.
We're just going with the Cavaliers today. That's what we're doing. That's NBA
I'm trying
corner.
to talk about the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers have done it 2
Well,
times.
someone got hurt since the last time we did NBA corner.
Oh, right. Oh, wow.
What's his
Oh,
name?
LeBron.
Yeah.
Out with a groin injury.
There we go. That's our
J.J.
guy.
Redick not happy. Pretty much called LeBron soft.
They're so much better off with him being hurt. They're so much better off. Nobody can. Nobody. You can't.
Well, yeah, because he'll be rested for April.
You can't talk about this. LeBron James' biggest problem in this late stage of his career is he still thinks he's LeBron James.
Yeah, he still wants to play all the time.
And so he believes that he has the obligation, because he's LeBron James,
Right.
to play in every game. People are paying money. I've got it. He's trying to be the John Cena of the.
They've come to see me.
Right. So the problem is he gets to the postseason and he's not the same guy because he's 40.
Right.
Because you can't be the same guy at that point.
He's a man.
Yeah, come after me. I'm a man. This is the best thing that could happen to the
What did he
Lakers.
do
It's
the other night? He got
devastating to
mad
the
at
rest of us.
Stephen A. Smith for something the other
Oh,
night?
yeah, they were in a fight. He was right in his face. Leave my son out of this.
What were they arguing about?
Who knows? It would require me to watch the Stephen A. Smith show, and I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not going to happen.
He must have said something about Bronny on first day.
Probably, but who knows?
LeBron was like,
I don't
he
care.
was like, I don't care.
Let your son fight his own fights, LeBron. He's a big boy.
You were the one that wanted him on
Is
the
he
team.
going to be any good?
No.
He might.
Never?
He might.
What do you mean by pretty?
What
any
happened
good?
to the?
He could be like Seth Curry, maybe.
What happened
Maybe.
to the?
That's like a
I
ceiling.
I still think that's a little
What
high.
happened to the ball boys? Where are they? And one kid's pretty
Oh,
good, right?
Lonzo-
Charlotte.
Yeah,
Or,
LaMelo's
sorry,
really
LaMelo.
good.
He's pretty good, right?
Lonzo's still playing.
And LeAngelo's a rapper.
and he's worth like $1 billion because he's a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because every single
That's
NBA
that's
player
what that's
puts him
what Drew
over.
had for NBA corner. What happened to LaMelo Ball?
I was asking you to
That's
see
our-
if you knew.
that's
Well,
our
LeVar
NBA
Ball
guy.
he lost a leg.
Did he lose a leg?
Yeah, he got he got his
did?
foot amputated.
Who?
LeVar Ball.
Diabetes?
The dad?
Yeah, I forget what it was. Yes, the dad he had his leg
Jesus.
amputated.
That's awful. That's awful.
That's something for NBA corner.
There you go. He never played in the NBA.
Yeah, that's something for. And SGA is averaging like 35 points.
He is. That is also true. It looks like he's going to be MVP.
Serious medical issue. That's all TMZ reported. But yes, there were pictures of him in a wheelchair without.
Yeah, I mean, when you
Right.
get your leg taken off, it's a serious medical issue.
No, it just did it. It was optional. They said you could have the surgery or
Did you
not. Up
see,
to you.
Did you see the kid from Boys Latin light up Kevin Durant the other night?
Cam Spencer?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Did you
did
see
see
that?
Cam Spencer get into
Did
a
you see
fight
the
with
look
Kevin
that
Durant.
Kevin Durant gave him?
I did. I saw the whole. It was amazing.
Are you talking to me?
I mean, it's peak. If anyone doesn't know the Spencers, and particularly Cam, this is the crazy part. In comparison, Cam makes Pat look like Mr. Congeniality.
Okay.
This is who they are. Like, they perpetually have this like chip on their shoulder, and it works for them. I've said it before. It's one of the things I love about these guys. Like, this works for them. And Cam even more so than Pat. Like, it's hilarious. Pat
Cam Spencer lit him up, and
Cam
Kevin Durant looked at him
was
like,
left open in the corner and hit a three, and he was jawing about it.
Right. Durant's
And
like,
Kevin Durant
you're
had,
a 6'3" white
like
kid.
you're Cam Spencer, dog.
Right. Right.
And put his hand in his face.
Right.
And then it started this whole Desmond Bain comes over and is like going after Kevin
Don't
Durant.
disrespect that kid. And Kevin Durant's like,
the
kid stinks.
Like, it's Cam Spencer. He played at Loyola.
Right.
It's out here. Though there's two of them from the Grizzlies that played at Loyola, which is wild.
Oh, yeah, the Spanish kid, too, right?
You're the NBA corner host. Go right ahead. His name is?
The Spanish kid.
There we go. That's our guy.
Savia Rivera or something.
Yeah, not close, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
His name does start with his first name starts with an S.
I knew
You got
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Xavier or something.
No.
What is it?
Santi.
Santi, right. Santi Rapta.
Santi Aldama, but you know. You certainly said letters. They were a combination of letters that appeared. Hey, you know what? You've got that.
Oh,
going
that's
for you.
awesome.
Just move on.
Are you're playing the cam? You hadn't seen it?
I hadn't seen it yet.
I can't believe the host of NBA Corner knew something about the NBA that you didn't.
I follow the league.
I can't. Well, speaking of which, you obviously know what happened in the Pacers game last night.
Yeah, they won 115-114, and both those teams are now.
But how did it happen?
Oh, somebody hit a shot at the buzzer.
Ish.
It was a three-pointer, and then it got an extra foul.
Got fouled. Hey, look at this guy. Now, who was it?
Reggie Miller?
Yes. Yes.
Well, he plays for the Pacers.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did. You're
You
right.
said name a Pacers player.
Well, that's not what I said.
Earlier in the show, you said name a player on the Cavaliers.
I did,
said,
and you got that.
LeBron James, Larry Nance,
and I gave
and
you
Mark
credit.
Price.
I told you got 3. Yeah,
Right.
I'm with it. If I gave you 10 guesses, could you name the player that hit the game-winning shot last night?
No.
If I gave you 100 guesses, could you name the player? that hit?
Great player, Drew.
He's a
becoming
very
the face of the league.
Yeah, he's a
One of
he's
the
a
faces.
star.
Tristan Thompson?
Yeah, Tristan Thompson is not. I don't know if Tristan Thompson's hit a 3 in his career.
I don't know who it is.
I don't know. Ty
Webb?
Reese.
Iowa State. Does that help you?
Tyrese. He shares a last name with a company that profited off of war.
Biden?
A company.
No, I'm not sure.
You know, yeah, that was a little before your time.
Clinton.
No. No, I think this is more of a Dick
Bush.
This is more of a Dick Cheney special.
Bush.
Halliburton.
Oh, gotcha.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Gotcha.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Bush loved a good war.
Yeah, he did. He sure.
No.
He did. All of them did.
Wait,
The
right.
whole,
I
the
need,
whole
some,
Bush
I need my
family.
stocks to go up. Can we get in a fight with somebody?
3 seconds left. Tyrese Halliburton makes
a 3 and a foul.
off balance as he's getting fouled 3, and the free throw ends up being the difference.
You don't see that much.
You don't see that much. Famously, was it Larry Johnson that got fouled shooting a 3 for the Knicks years ago, and it was the only 3 he ever made in New York, and that allowed them to tie the
Courtesy
game.
of TNT.
There you go. There's that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We don't want to upset TNT.
Well, I don't. We might get booted off the internet for playing this song right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been long enough.
I have no idea. I hope that this has gone into the public domain at this point, but
We've played it now for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes, but we've also gotten booted for a few things recently, so I don't know if they're just not bothering to find the
Who's
other
listening?
things. Steve Facebook listens every day. Stevie FB listens.
That Halliburton kid's a nice player.
Never heard of him before today.
He played for Iowa State.
You're right.
Come on,
Sure
man.
did.
You're talking to Dr. NBA here.
I know, Mr. NBA.
All right.
Dave NBA over
Right.
here. Anything else you had for the corner? Or?
Cavaliers 15 in a row.
There you go.
Came in with one thing today.
Well, it's historic.
It is. You're right. It is historic. I'll give you.
And
that.
I had the Cam Spencer thing.
You did. Well, you thought of it. It came into your mind as we were talking. You came up with that.
Durant looked at him like, dude, what
Dog,
do
what
we
are we doing?
squash you?
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Is this for real?
Right.
Is this for
Did you go to the boys' Latin school?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
God. Oh, it's so incredible.
I love when Pat Kennedy brought Tony in, and after the 3rd game, he said, I heard that kid was supposed to be really good.
Right.
And everybody's like, you got the wrong one.
Yeah, you got Tony Durant. Apparently. Did I tell you the story?
Yeah, you did.
At the deadline?
You did.
Oh, boy.
This is some world we're in.
All right. You want to do Would You Rather Wednesday?
Me? Sure, yeah.
Danan Hughes is going to join us in a couple of minutes.
He's joining me. Go ahead.
Well, you got that big match today. I
Go ahead.
certainly understand. You got to
What do you
get
got?
over there. Plus, it's Curly, and they've had your number, right?
Curly.
They've had your number. Would You Rather Wednesday? Someone who participates will win a $30 gift card to Glory Days Grill. All you got to do is go at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, Facebook.com/Glenn Clark Radio. Get your responses in there. Number 1, Would You Rather? With Grayson Rodriguez hurt, let's revisit that potential trade with the Padres. And while you don't want to, you indeed give up Kobe Mayo to rent Dylan Cease this year. Or the Orioles don't make any starting pitching moves this year at all.
I don't think the Rodriguez thing is a big deal. I really don't. I mean, if in July he's done for the year, I was wrong. But this sounds like it's garden variety tendonitis. Give him a shot. Put him on the bike for 10 days. Get him to pitch some more. He might not start until April the 23rd. Might miss his first 2 starts.
I've kind of worked around the idea of May, early May.
Really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
he still didn't really have a spring training.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if everything goes right, to me, it's early May.
I'm not giving up Kobe Mayo.
Okay.
You keep trying to do this every week. I don't know what happened to his mom.
More-
Did you hit on his mom or
Yeah,
something? She
well,
didn't like
yeah.
you. Like, you're not getting rid of Kobe Mayo.
More people this time than the last time are jumping on board.
Well, those people are nuts. Go with what you got. By the way, we have Suarez.
That's a great point. Why would you need Dylan Cease when you have Albert Suarez?
Did you see him yesterday?
I didn't. I'm not going to pretend like I watched the game.
Well, go look at the box score.
Yeah.
The Yankees are still swinging and missing.
Okay, good.
How many innings did he
4.
go?
Yeah, or whoever played for the Yankees are still swinging.
Well, it doesn't matter. The under hit.
Thank you. That's a great point. That's what everybody's saying.
I don't care who played.
That's a great point.
Under was 8.5 and it was 6-2.
There you go. Big win. Big win.
Close one.
Was that the final score yesterday?
It was 6-2. Yeah.
Okay. Lord
I
knows.
follow sports.
Especially the ones that matter.
You know who's having a great spring are the Phillies.
Good for
They're
them.
killing the ball.
Good for them.
Are they?
Yeah, they had like 18 runs again yesterday.
Sure.
They're still
God
like
love
500 in the spring training.
God love them.
Well, we're just talking about runs.
They can't
okay.
pitch.
They've got the best run
all that
differential.
matters is they hit the over. That's
it.
all that matters. You're asking all the wrong questions.
Okay.
We don't care who wins or loses.
Yeah,
Right.
Griffin's over here talking about
Last
results.
night, if you had Alexi Protas with 2 goals or more in that game with Anaheim, you're happy.
How about
friend's
Ovechkin apparently
thrilled.
could have had an open netter at the end of the
Yeah.
game, but he gave it up to Protas so
Yep.
he could have his first hat trick. Good for him. All right.
Yeah. I want to do it now.
Yo, you've changed your mind.
What actually did I say I wanted
I don't
to do it
remember
last
what you
time?
wanted to
I
do
can't
the last
remember
time.
either.
I don't
think I was
remember.
like trying to come around, but
Uh-huh.
I don't think I could pull the trigger.
You're
With
right.
the Yankees, probably being involved now, the price, Kobe Mayo seems like that'd be what the price is. So
You're doing it.
And I feel like Mountcastle, I don't know, maybe I'm just, getting caught up in the spring training highlights, but it feels like Mountcastle, the wall's back in. I feel like this could be
you say you've got your Kobe Mayo.
Yeah.
It's Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I have no interest in doing it. Trust me. I don't want to give up Kobe Mayo, but to the point.
And what happened, whatever happens to Grayson is germane. Like, I think it's.
Yes, even if you get Grayson Rodriguez back in May, you needed more pitching.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing it as well. Number 2, would you rather the Ravens indeed sign DeAndre Hopkins today for that 1-year, $6 million deal, or there's a snag in his medical, and instead they sign Cooper Kupp for 2 years and $25 million?
No. Hell. Cooper Kupp would come here with a broken leg. He'd get off the plane with a cast on his leg. No. Take Hopkins. I don't care if he's 50. Freaking Cooper Kupp comes off the plane like, Cooper, how come you're in a wheelchair? I tore my ACL at the airport. No. I mean,
he does have a bit of history.
No.
You're not wrong.
Not unless he's
So
giving
does
us
Ronnie.
20.
So does Ronnie Stanley. They just signed him to $20
Not
million
unless
a year.
he's giving us $20 million.
Ronnie Stanley has an ankle made out of this microphone stand at this point.
I mean, they bring Cooper
Held up
Kupp
last year.
I mean, they'd have to give what's her name? The team doctor. You have to give her a
Nan
raise.
Curl.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck.
She's a whiz. No to Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
What about Stephon Diggs? Like, what could we?
That's not. I didn't put Stephon Diggs into the conversation.
Maybe
it's
Stephon
would you
Diggs.
rather
Well,
Wednesday?
maybe we
available.
throw.
He's available?
He tore his ACL last year.
Or
was it his Achilles? I don't know what it was, but yeah, Yeah, I'll stick with DeAndre Hopkins.
It's very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Number 3. Would you rather?
Cooper Kupp.
Did you see this?
You mean Cooper Crutch?
I can't wait till I show this to him, and his first word is, "I'll try that."
All right, let me see. You never know.
A basketball genie offers you a guarantee that Maryland will make the Final Four.
Yes.
If
every
night between now and the end. I meant to say the end of the NCAA tournament.
End of the end.
Your dinner
every night
is it's a delicious creation that we learned about from the folks at Miami Baseball.
Oh. Okay.
The cheesesteak milkshake, which you can tell how appealing that is. That cheese whiz right there sitting out in that.
I guess the problem is it's a Miami-made cheesesteak.
It's a Miami-made cheesesteak. Yes,
Yeah.
that fine steakums that you could tell is on that steak.
How often do we have to consume this?
Every day, every night. Every
This
night.
is my dinner every
This is
night.
your dinner every night between now and the end of the NCAA tournament.
But I can eat other things. I just have to make sure I
You
get
have
this
to
down
have
as well.
one of these every night. Maryland's in the Final Four, baby. And you're number one. You are the biggest Maryland fan on the face of the planet.
I'm a big Maryland fan, but I ain't eating that. Not every night. I'm not doing it.
You want to try it, though.
I do want to try it.
I know you did.
I do
I
want
knew
to
you
try
wanted
it,
to
but
try
I'm not
it.
eating it every night until after
Can
I
you
try it.
see if Gwen will make some cheesesteak
Yeah,
milkshakes?
sure, I can see what
Gwen's Chili Bowl.
we can do.
What?
Yeah, Gwen's Chili Bowl. It's Griffin's neighbor is Gwen's Chili Bowl.
If they'll make one, I'll try it.
Well, but it might be tomorrow. You'd have to come in tomorrow.
I mean, I could
Do we line it up for next Wednesday to see if we can do that?
I feel like it's going to be it's kind of already.
Oh,
it's a week old. I don't know. Whatever. Work on
But
that.
that's
Just
a no.
talk to Gwen.
That's a no. As the great Randy Jackson used to say, that's a no for me,
Going to be
dog.
for no for me, dog. Yeah.
Can win a national championship?
I didn't say that. I
that's a
said
no
Final
also.
Four.
You guys are on your own. I'm not eating that thing.
You keep trying to push this. I said Final Four.
Sweet 16's fine this year, right?
You're good.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not eating that thing.
All right.
No.
Very, very good. Get your responses in at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, Facebook.com/Glenn Clark Radio, and someone indeed will receive a $30 gift card to Glory Days Grill just for participating in Would You Rather Wednesday. So what's your deal? Are you really like?
What do you mean?
Do you really need to go or?
What do we got going on?
Well, we're going to talk to Danan Hughes about DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. I'll tell you all about him.
Right, I understand. But you said
6'1", African American, played in the league 11 years, played for Texas or Houston. I can tell you anything you want me to tell. What do you want? What else do you need to know?
You're sure he has pants on? Like you're certain?
Have
you looked
went to
under
the
the
Titans,
table?
Then went to the Chiefs.
Make sure he's wearing pants.
Why don't the Chiefs want him
Like
back?
I just want to know.
Why did the Chiefs kick him to the curb?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they kicked him to the curb. He was a free agent.
Well, they didn't want him back.
Well, I don't think they prioritized him. No, I think that's the case. You're certain that he's wearing pants?
No, not anymore.
Okay. So, are you sticking around or
maybe? Let's see how interesting this guy is.
It's match day. I know. I don't want to ruin your.
And I got to go home and take care of Knox.
Who's Knox?
Our dog.
I didn't know your dog's name was Knox.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
That was what his name was when
when you got him.
Yeah.
All right. You didn't bother to.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He
I have some
recognized Knox.
I do have some other names for him.
When
when
we adopted our current dog, we showed up, and I don't remember what her name was, but my son was hellbent on the dog's name being Maddie. And I said, all right, fine, her name can be Maddie. Then I realized it was because he was obsessed with his cousin, whose name is Maddie, and I had to have the conversation with him about, hey, buddy.
It's okay. Oh,
it's your cousin.
Oh, no,
take it easy.
You gotta, I understand,
Take
but
it
you
easy.
gotta,
Right.
you gotta ease.
Let's wait and see what she looks like when she's
right.
19.
Exactly right. Way too soon to be committing to this type of activity.
So I saw yesterday. Yesterday was the anniversary of Francesa calling the quadruple overtime. The UConn Cincinnati game that went to 4 or 5 overtimes.
Right. Do you want it? Do you want to?
I mean, I have it ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. We're not doing the other thing until
it's
next
teased
week.
for next week.
Next week is when we're doing that.
12 seconds left. Spread the floor. Up top with the ball. Off the dribble. We're going to get a 3 here. Long 3. No good. Rebound.
By the way,
and another 3. And it's good.
This is what Drew sounds like on the golf show.
Shot the 3. Got the offensive rebound. Kicked it back out for the 3. They hoist it up. And Cincinnati. Oh, my God. Oh, with 0.2 of a second left, I got to see if it's good. He banked it in from like 50, 60 feet to tie the game.
See, this isn't as good.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Because honestly,
oh, my God. Oh, my God.
This is how we all were reacting watching that game. Like, that's not really a dunk on Francesa. That's how we were all reacting watching
Yeah, I know
that
it was
game.
impressive. That's why
The one, we'll save it for next week. We'll have Mike Francesa break down the NCAA tournament. We're doing a bracket contest, by the way.
I'm in.
Are you?
Sure.
Yeah, you'll fill out.
I don't like to play them, but I mean, I'll go ahead and win this one.
It's same thing. $20, half to the winner, half to show your soft side and the great work they do for animals in our area.
Coffee all over your backpack.
Uh-oh.
Swear to God.
You see his
Swear.
below torso.
All right, I think you can confirm he's wearing pants.
My bad.
He's wearing pants.
It'll come out. I mean,
we are doing a bracket contest.
A lot of times if you just put
right. No,
laundry soap
thank
on the
you.
backpack, it'll
Thank
come
you.
right out.
I appreciate that. If you want to go ahead and get in now before the brackets start, we'd appreciate that. Just hit me up, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. You need you need. I don't remember.
Pay
where
your
I am.
money, you creeps.
Yes, thank you. Pay your money, you creeps, and I'll get you the link. And on Sunday night, you can go ahead and get in. $20 to get in, $10 of which goes to the pot, $10 of which goes to show your soft side. We've done it every year. We're going to continue to do it this year, our annual charity bracket contest. Danan Hughes coming up next. We'll talk about DeAndre Hopkins. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
March is a slam dunk at Live Casino. Catch all the basketball action and more at Sports and Social. Enter our $80,000 Dolce & Gabbana giveaway on March 28th. And catch the Baltimore baseball jersey giveaway March 31st. Take your shot at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at DriveEasyMD.com.
Treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. Hey, it's Stan the Fan Charles. For over 50 years, the Costas Inn has been a Baltimore original, dishing out their amazingly scrumptious, fat, award-winning crab cakes and steamed crabs. Every season is crab season at Costas, so make your plans now by calling 410-477-1975 and reserve your taste of heaven. Sit back, crack some crabs, and watch the Ravens chase down another title on Costas' 15 TVs. On Monday nights, Costas offers their half-pound jumbo lump crab cake with 2 sides for under $30, and there are nightly specials Monday through Friday. So head on down to the Costas Inn at 4100 North Point Boulevard or visit them at CostasInn.com.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
COVID-19 and flu viruses are circulating in Maryland. But don't worry, protection is within arm's reach. Protect your health with this year's COVID-19 and flu shots. It's safe and convenient to get them both at the same time. Flex your protection. For more information, visit health.maryland.gov/vaccines.
This message paid for by the Maryland Department of Health.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Back in here on GCR, into the 11 a.m. hour of the program. Drew Forrester is here. It is championship week down in College Park at the high school level on the public school side for hoops. You can find out everything you need to know, the schedule for everything related to championship week by going to countysports.zone. That's countysports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. As they hand out the titles for high school hoops. And, of course, already into spring sports season at the private school level and then coming right back around at the public school level. And we were talking about earlier this week a huge win for Calvert Hall lacrosse over Hill Academy. You want to find out more about that, how it happened? Again, go to countysports.zone in order to find it. Proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Did you do a preseason poll for golf? Does it work that way? Do they do like a...
You mean for a conference? You mean us?
Nah. No, they should. They should. I'd like to know what the expectations. And I know how to measure you at the end. Like, did you fail to reach?
I don't know. I mean, we've been to the final tiers in a row, and we got a lot of our guys coming back. We should be good, but it's golf.
Right. It is. That's what they always say.
I've seen some crazy stuff happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We should be good.
All right. Very good.
Tied up in a meeting, he needs 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, what do you have for us then?
Kick this guy to the curb. It's on Clark Radio.
Right. Doesn't he know?
It's like Kevin Durant and Pat Chambers now.
Pat Chambers.
Whatever his name
is.
Former basketball coach.
Pat Chambers.
Who's the coach at Northwestern?
God. Chris
Collins. Did you see what he did the other day?
I don't know that I saw. In the
Maryland game.
Oh, he took the timeout. So that
was pretty cool.
Yeah. Or he didn't take the timeout. He actually had them throw the ball out of bounds.
Throw the ball away.
In order to get in order to let the seniors come off. I didn't realize that he and Kevin Willard were like particularly close. I didn't know that they had a particularly close relationship. He should have been the coach,
but it is what it is.
Chris Collins.
We took the wrong guy, but it's fine.
I mean, it seems like it's going fairly well at the moment.
Yeah,
I think a big fan like you would maybe recognize
I am
that.
recognizing it. I've seen him both of his wins in his career, and it matter.
Both of them.
We'll see.
Both of them.
You better get something done.
They went on the road and won at Michigan last week.
They did win there. That was a nice win.
We used to think they couldn't win on the road. Now all they do is win on the road.
I know, right? And this was in January when we were saying they can't win a conference road game. And now,
at all.
Except for the Ohio State game, they won them all.
Right. And that one,
Right?
the only two they lost at the buzzer. Like,
but Michigan State was at home.
It's true. Michigan State was at home. Oh, I mean, but the Ohio State game was right at the it was a shot right at the end.
That's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
They've won every road game since
right.
then.
But the road games they've lost this year, Northwestern and Ohio State, were both right at the end.
Right.
Like and I have no idea. I have no idea what they're gonna do. Couldn't possibly tell you. I don't like this weekend. This is the weekend when the depth matters.
Right. Yeah, 3 in 3 days. Sure.
If you get, the depth matters.
Sure.
In turnarounds like this, the NCAA tournament.
I would agree. Yeah, you get a couple days off.
Not quite as much, right? And the longer timeouts.
Totally
the whole
agree.
Thing. This is the weekend when it concerns me how little.
I like the team. I do, and I think they have a great chance.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You want to make a pick? You don't even know who they're playing. How are you going to do this?
I know exactly who they're playing.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to take Michigan to beat Illinois in the final.
There we go. There we go. Michigan. Michigan finished the Big Ten season with a negative point differential.
Did they really?
They went 14-6.
14-6. Right.
They finished the season with a negative point differential.
Well, that's because they lost by 80 to Michigan State
Correct.
at the end.
100.
Michigan and Illinois, by the way, are on the same side of the bracket. Just so you know.
Hey, there's a reason why he does NBA corner.
Yeah,
all right.
Who cares?
Not CBB corner.
This is like asking Charles Barkley to come over and do the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
they wouldn't do that.
You know what Griffin got on his SATs? Yep, honey mustard.
There you go. There we go. Playing all the hits. Playing all the hits.
I mean, if you go see the Goo Goo Dolls,
yeah,
and they
you
don't
got
play
it.
slide.
100%.
Forget about it.
What are we doing here?
Right.
What was the point of any?
Right.
They got to play Iris. That's the way
What are
they
they
do
doing
it
this summer?
I don't know. Is that what we've devolved into? What are the Goo Goo Dolls?
Well, it's summer. I mean, the summer's right.
I got it. When are you going to the beach this year?
I'm not sure yet.
The Counting Crows are going to play at the beach the week
When?
that I'm there.
When is that?
It's the week after the 4th of July.
It's funny because sometimes that's when we're there.
That's when you were there last year because we were there at the beach at the same time.
And
I know
where are they playing?
They're playing
at
the
Freeman
free.
thing?
Yeah, they're playing there.
Oh my God, are they really?
Yeah.
That's
well, it's
what they've been reduced to.
Well, they're also playing Merriweather for what it's worth. But I know my wife's not going to win. I asked my wife. I said, "Do you want to go?" She said, "Maybe." I said, "Okay, so no."
Yeah, don't take her. Take me.
But she doesn't want to go.
Can you get us tickets?
Well, I mean, for money, I don't have a hookup.
We're not. You're a star.
I know that, but not on the beach. They don't care. See if we asked Popovic if he can get us some tickets. He's the star on the beach. He's the guy, right? Like he's like the unofficial mayor of the Eastern Shore. Ask him. No, you have to pay money if you want to
County
go.
Crows, July 8th.
Right. Did you think I was making it up?
No. I was confirming. Atlanta Rhythm Section. Oh my gosh.
And the Gaslight Anthem's on this tour as well. And I love them.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
What? No, I think it's a tribute to Taylor Swift. I don't think she's playing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't get tickets for that.
Yeah, that would have
disappointed.
felt really silly when you showed up and it was
the Wallflowers.
It was a drag queen.
The Wallflowers.
Yeah,
they've totally hit the rock bottom.
But they play Ram's Head live. I'm surprised they can still play that.
Sam Hunt,
the country guy,
Three Dog Night.
Didn't he used to be like a quarterback? Sam Hunt, didn't he play?
Did he?
I could have sworn.
No, that's Lamar Hunt. Foreigner.
No, I don't think it is. Right. You're just reading names of shows.
Well,
That's all you're doing.
For the first time ever, Ray LaMontagne.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Okay. What the point is? Are you going to the beach?
We're not sure yet.
Okay. All right. Well, then
if I make the Maryland Open, no.
He won the
Oh, is
Wendy's
that
High
week?
School Heisman.
But didn't he play college football?
Tennessee State.
Thank you. Middle Tennessee State. That's D1. That's FBS level. Stick with me. I know a thing or two about a thing
All
or
right,
two.
but let's just look and see if before we get started, look and see
What is
if
going on.
I want to look
This
and
is-
see if the Goo Goo Dolls are touring.
People tell me they like the chaos of Wednesday shows, and I'm like, I don't enjoy the chaos of Wednesday shows quite as much as you do.
It's not really chaos.
It's
they're in South Africa.
You don't really.
Oh,
listen.
here they are. Now they're back in the U.S.
Right. Where are they playing?
Raleigh, Vienna. Oh, they're playing a Wolf Trap.
I like Wolf Trap.
July 27th.
You can bring your own.
It's a Sunday.
You can bring your own charcuterie in at Wolf Trap.
Oh, we got to go see the Goo Goo Dolls.
The only
When
thing you
is
can
it?
bring in?
What day is it?
July 27.
I might be. I'm thinking about going to Vegas at the end of July.
To do what?
Go see Lenny Kravitz. Go out to see. I got some friends.
Speaking of overrated.
No, probably not. Honestly.
Okay,
No?
well,
No.
they're playing a Wolf Trap Sunday, July 27th.
If I'm here, I'll go.
Google
I'll go with
Okay.
him. If I'm here, I'll go to that.
See the great Johnny Resnick.
I know he was hurt the last time you saw him, right?
Yeah, broken leg. And they let that other maniac sing. That guy,
Robbie.
might as well have a dog out there barking.
There we go.
That guy's terrible.
Joining us now, of course, the Ravens last night signed DeAndre Hopkins to a 1-year, $6 million, or it's $5, it can be $6 million deal. Let's find out if DeAndre Hopkins has anything left.
Why
Joining
didn't
us
they
now.
keep him?
Joining us now, of course, the color analyst for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is former wide receiver, Mr. Danan Hughes, and he's with us this morning here on GCR. Danan, it's Glenn and Drew here in Baltimore. Always good to catch up. Thank you for taking the time for us.
What's going on, fellas? How's I guess, do we call this an off-season? I don't even know.
Not
like,
anymore.
what's an off-season in the NFL, right?
It's a weird...
So, yeah, it's fun time.
Yeah,
365 days a year.
Danon's really confused because he's normally like still drunk from a parade around this time of the year. And it's just a little bit of a different world that it didn't happen this time around. Danan,
Still too soon, guys.
Yeah,
Still
well,
too
oh,
soon.
we feel terrible for you, buddy.
Yeah,
really.
He
Just,
hasn't been to every AFC
just
championship game
wretched
since
for
1993.
you. Walk me through when DeAndre Hopkins showed up in Kansas City. What did he have left? What did he offer to the Chiefs, and what could he still have to offer at this point in his career?
So there was a lot of question when DeAndre Hopkins came here. I mean, there's been a lot of chatter since I believe he left or was contemplating leaving the Texans a few years ago that, you wondered, okay, could he be a fit here in Kansas City? And it seemed like every year there was a little chatter about DeAndre Hopkins getting an established wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes, all that. And then it never came to fruition. But last year, because of the injury to Rashee Rice, it came right on time. I mean, I think if you ask anyone around the Chiefs organization, they will tell you that the expectations were maybe lower than what the product was when it all was said and done. Averaging over 4 catches a game, playing 10 games, 41 catches, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns for a guy that's come into a complicated offense in the middle of the season during a Super Bowl run when receivers are going down and, we're depleted at the receiver room and we needed a little bit more than maybe people thought he still had in the tank. So I think everybody, and if you heard from Andy Reid during the season, at the end of the season, the conversations about DeAndre Hopkins were exactly what you wanted to hear from a guy that may not have as much gas left in his tank as he had in previous years, but filled an exact role that you needed him to. And that's not just on the field with the production, but in the locker room, mentoring guys like Xavier Worthy, et cetera. So I think they didn't really expect that part. And I think that's where guys and everyone around the Ravens organization should be happy about getting DeAndre Hopkins, is that he's going to be that professional that's going to hold all the rest of the receivers accountable, as well as maybe even to some extent Lamar Jackson.
We like this. It sounds like the word that comes to mind is helpful, right? Like everything that you're just saying, It sounds like there's every reason to say, hey, even if to the point he's not DeAndre Hopkins, particularly for a Ravens team that doesn't need a number 1 wide receiver, they needed depth. Mm-hmm. It sounds like you're saying he checks the box.
Absolutely checks the box, not only with depth, but then if you have an offensive coordinator that knows how to put players in position to be successful. Andy Reid and Matt Nagy were not asking DeAndre Hopkins to play 60 plays a game and run 20 go routes and post routes and all your deep part of your offense. He wasn't being asked to do that. He had a specific role with this offense, and I think if you are creative, especially in this day and age, with all the metrics and everything that's available to you, you have to be willing to accept the players for who they are. And to me, DeAndre Hopkins kind of fits that bill because he's a guy that is a possession receiver. I know that gets a negative connotation sometimes, but he's a possession receiver that knows how to get open, knows how to use his body, will draw you possibly 1, maybe 2 pass interferences a game just because of his positioning and his mind. There were times where the ball was thrown elsewhere or interceptions were thrown or incompletions on critical situations where he was standing 5 yards away from Pat Surtain II, waving waving to the offense to come on down the field, where it's an automatic first down because Patrick Surtain got a little handsy. And that happened on multiple occasions. So to have that kind of smarts is just as good as having a guy that can catch the ball, and he can still do that as well.
Danan Hughes, Chiefs Color Analyst, with us here on GCR. Dana, with that in mind, we all think it's funny because DeAndre Hopkins is only 6'1", but yet, of course, we think of the absurd leaping catches that he made at times during his career, and we think of him as like a true red zone type of target, despite the fact that he's not really a prototype build. Is he still, at this point, an actual, like, legit red zone target, or has that dwindled at this point in his career?
Oh, absolutely. If there's one area of the field that you can still count on him to be productive, is the red zone. He had an amazing catch on Monday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that should have been intercepted deep down the field. I think that might have been the deepest catch he had all season long. Everything else was kind of third and short, second and short, and red zone. And he had a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, I believe, in the Super Bowl. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. Hitches on the outside, contested back shoulder, fade routes, and then your slam routes that he still is fearless in regards to going across the middle. So the short passing game, I can envision him with Lamar Jackson and his running ability, a linebacker having to make a decision. Imagine that. Visualize there's a linebacker that's caught in the middle of the field when Lamar Jackson is approaching the line of scrimmage while DeAndre Hopkins is running a shallow cross right in front of him. Who do you guard? And basically pick your poison. And that's what he's going to bring. Is he's sure-handed, which any quarterback would love. Even if you don't have the speed to get open deep down the field, he may not have that still left in his tank. You know he's going to catch the ball, and his catch radius is incredible. So as a quarterback, that's the safety valve that you love to have.
So I'll do the thing. I asked the question that Drew wants to ask, but for some reason hasn't yet, which is why
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. Why don't the Chiefs keep him? I mean, obviously he was a free agent, so he can go wherever he wants. But why not a push for him? Why not go to him and, hey, you get $1 million, you get $6 million from the Ravens, we'll give you 12. Why did they not want him back?
Yeah, I don't know all the intricate details of, like, we all know that with free agency there's three sides. There's the player wanting to be somewhere, the team wanting them, and then the agent finagling in between. I don't know the details of why he was not invited back, but what I do know is that we have a strong populated wide receiver room. Rashee Rice will be coming back off the injury. Hollywood Brown is still here. You have Xavier Worthy. I just don't know if I don't think it's money, because that's not a lot of money. It just may not have been a fit for him based on what the role was going to present with all three of those guys being healthy. That could be my point. That's definitely my speculation. Maybe he sees a little bit more of an opportunity in Baltimore where he can be more of a staple in the offense, maybe 25, 30 plays a game, and he's going to be a value target as opposed to hoping to get playtime based on a pending suspension for Rashee Rice and any other injuries that may happen that will allow him to do so.
Where you at with the offensive line at this point down there, Dan? And obviously there was so much made about how everybody thought they were going to be in on Ronnie Stanley. They end up going out and getting Jalen Moore instead. Based on how things went in the Super Bowl, are you comfortable with where the Chiefs are O-line-wise?
I'm comfortable as of now. I think there's still work to be done, whether that's in the draft or free agency. We all know anything can happen as you approach training camp and the preseason. But I think right now, when you use the draft capital that they used over the past couple of years with Wanye Morris and Kingsley Suamataia, you have to be able to try to figure out at least one of those guys as a fit in your offensive line. And neither guy showed the ability to take a stranglehold of that left tackle position. And that's unfortunate because you used second and third round draft capital on those guys. But what we've seen so far is the willingness and the ability to move Kingsley inside to take over for the departed Joe Thuney. and now going and free agent route with the left tackle, as you mentioned, secures the offensive line. I still think that there's some depth that they can tap into, but here's what we know about Brett Veach and Andy Reid. And here in Kansas City, we say in Veach we trust, in Andy we trust, because you can't knock their resume in regards to going and getting the necessary pieces to fill the holes to be a championship football team. We did that after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers debacle of a Super Bowl a few years ago. We immediately went to the free agency route and got those holes filled in to the tune of 2 more Super Bowl wins. So, at this point, it's hard to scrutinize anything that happens at Arrowhead Stadium because these guys have figured it out, and we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. Ricky, thanks for the reminder. Really appreciate it. Danan, always appreciate you taking the time for us, man. It sounds very encouraging. Seems like you are a fan of the Ravens picking up DeAndre Hopkins. Thanks for hopping on, man. Let's talk again real soon, all right?
Sounds good, guys.
Danan Hughes, Chiefs Color Analyst, with us here on GCR. And, I just don't know what the negativity would be towards signing DeAndre Hopkins. Again,
I don't either.
If he had to be your number 1 receiver, I get it.
Right.
But he doesn't. That's the point. They still need O-line. We didn't really talk. Yes, they brought back Patrick Ricard. Interesting that they only gave him a 1-year deal, which almost feels like their way of saying, dude, there's no market for fullbacks. We're just going to give you a string of 1-year deals until we decide we're done with
Did you see the thing? It said players. There was some in the new CBA in 2020 that players that have played every year with one team, they get an extra $1.5 million or something that doesn't get charged to the cap if it's just a 1-year deal. I think.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay, well that makes sense then.
I want to say Jonas might have shared something like that,
right.
but so it was a way for them to kind of maneuver around the cap. It looked like.
Then that makes total sense. Runs the risk of obviously at some point him saying, "No, there's another team that loves me, and so I'll go there." But
for 1 year,
yeah, right. Why not? They still need obviously some O-line depth. They're losing Patrick McCary. They're gonna lose Ben Cleveland. They're not bringing Ben Cleveland back. They need depth along the O-line. They lost Josh Jones. They're going to need to find that somewhere. They need some inside linebacker help, special teams obviously help there, but my guess is they look at players that have been cut. Leonard Floyd is an interesting name for me with them. There isn't top-notch edge rush help. There wasn't any of that to be had at all on this market. But Leonard Floyd did have 8.5 sacks last year. He was cut. That smells like a Ravens-y move to make.
Sure. Willie Anderson, except he played on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, and probably still closer to the peak of his career than Willie was when Willie showed up.
He might be like what Derrick Henry was.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah.
So that one is intriguing to me. If they end up going down that road, we'll see. But they got some other things to do, and we know that they're still going to look for secondary help. They did make it official releasing our buddy Arthur Millette last night, not surprisingly. And they're going to release Marcus Williams. We knew they were going to do that. So,
so far, who's gone? Total. McCary's gone.
McCary's gone. Malik Harrison's gone.
Malik Harrison,
Board is gone.
Right, Board.
Brandon Stevens is gone.
Thankfully.
Josh Jones is gone.
Josh Jones, okay. Don't even know who he is.
Who else did you say thankfully was gone? Malik Harrison? He was helpful last year.
He was okay.
He was pretty good.
Career year syndrome.
Okay.
All right, those 5. Millette.
And they've released Millette as well.
And that's it.
That's it. That's
okay.
Gone.
Okay.
But look, they're not bringing back Ben Cleveland.
I'm sure they're trying to massage this thing with Justin Tucker the best they can, but it's just not.
Drew Forrester. Fairways and Greens, 4 o'clock. Sunday on 105.7 The Fan.
I'm just don't.
DrewsMorningDish.com. And today,
I don't think it's going to work out.
So can people come out and watch against Curly?
Sure. Come on over. I'll leave you some tickets at the baseball window.
Yeah, you got the hookup. What about for Counting Crows? You got the hookup for that?
Oh man, we gotta decide. Do they have a new album?
Yeah,
they do.
Do
they really?
There's a song out
Garbage.
right now, and actually, it's pretty good. The song that's out, it's called "Spaceman in Tulsa." It's pretty good.
I'll be the judge of that.
I mean, it's fun. It sounds like a early 2000s Counting Crows.
What happened
song.
to them?
Well, he hates his songs. That's the only problem with going to see him live. Is he's going to sing Mr. Jones like it's a sad.
I've almost never left a concert early, but I left the one. Now my wife was also pregnant.
Yeah.
Space Mountain in Tulsa.
Space Man in Tulsa. Yeah.
I left that show early that night over at the pier, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I get it. He hates his own songs. He hates them. He won't just play the songs. But I'm still a sucker. I still go every time. I hate myself for that. But you have the ad-supported version of Spotify? Oh, he's on YouTube. That's what he's doing. He's on YouTube.
I know. Don't make fun of him, even if he was.
That's not the song.
Yeah, Spaceman in Tulsa.
That's not it. He's rehearsing it. It's not the actual recording of it. This guy. This is what he's doing right now. This is the chaos you sign up for.
Okay, it's like from Hard Candy.
It is a lot like a song from Hard Candy is exactly what I would describe it as.
But let's hear what he has to say.
He sounds good. Which means he's not going to sound like that if we go to the beach and see him this summer. And you got to pay $100 in order to go. What do you mean it's awful? It's not awful.
Terrible.
Stop it.
This guy lost it, man. You lost your curveball, dog.
Are you good? Didn't you say you got to go? You said 8 times you had to go. Are you good?
This is music here.
Oh, this is what you're into now?
Sam Fender.
We talked about
I love Sam Fender.
I like Sam Fender. We're not just going to listen to your iPod.
What's his name's got up? I mean, what's his Duritz? You might as well go get Tommy John surgery.
Okay. Are you good?
What are we doing?
I don't know. You told me you had to leave 3 times. I'm asking you. Are you continuing on?
I'm getting paid.
Or are you
isn't Stan chiming in, sir?
Yeah, Stan's going to check. You know what? We will. Yeah, Stan's going to check in.
Okay, yeah, I got to roll. Not because of Stan. I'm saying, like, you guys go ahead and knock it out with the baseball talk. It's all good.
You're the one who knows the results of the games.
I do know all the spring training games.
You're on top of it.
It's easy money in the spring, dog.
The machine. That guy
it's
hitting home runs.
Easy money.
Anything else you'd like to talk about before we let you go?
No.
Real shame. I thought Tiger was gonna play a round of golf at some point this season.
It's disappointing he's not in the Masters because it's the only event that you can honestly say, if all of his chakras were in line, like they were in 2019, and some of these guys threw up on themselves, he could hang around.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't hang around in the other ones. He won't be able to play at Quail in May. He maybe can play at Oakmont in June, notwithstanding this injury. The other thing he's got to remember is this is it for him, exemption-wise. He will not be exempt for the PGA next year, nor will he be exempt for the U.S. Open. So this is
they changed those rules though, right?
They have not.
It's Tiger Woods.
Used to be Tiger Woods.
I understand that.
He'll be 50 next year.
But they still want him to be there.
No, they don't. Not those two. I'm just telling you. They're not bending the rules for Tiger Woods. Now, would they give him one of those exemption, sponsor or not?
Yeah.
Would they give him an exemption like they gave to Mickelson?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're definitely going to do that.
I could see that.
They're going to do that. It's Tiger Woods. You're going to not have Tiger Woods. Nobody even knows who these other guys are. We're fine. We don't need Tiger Woods. We have Akshay
Bhatia. Sahitha Gala.
Ashtray from Euphoria.
Joe Highsmith.
They've got
him. Of course,
yeah. They've got him.
Carl Phillips. He won last week in Puerto Rico.
I think he met an unfortunate end, Ashtray, at the end of season.
Xander Schauffele. They went in the TGL or the playoffs next week.
I think they're next week. Yeah.
Are they?
I think they're next week for the TGL playoffs.
TGL corner with Glenn. Yeah.
This week they were competing with the the Horizon League championship game.
And everybody.
So they couldn't run the risk. Nobody's gonna be watching us because they're gonna be busy watching Central Connecticut State and St. Francis.
Right.
Big upset. Jeez.
Yeah, they combined 80-some points in that game.
89.
What's the Patriot League final?
Navy American. We got
Oh, American's the best team though, right? They're winning.
Bucknell was the best team,
but
American's the
what
better.
What about the UMBC's division?
They're out.
But Big upset for Maine though.
Who won?
Maine beat the championship Saturday.
Okay.
Vermont or Maine and
Bryant. Yeah.
Still one of the all-time top 10 best days of my sporting life.
Mm-hmm.
When we went over there to see them beat Hartford.
You've said this a million times. I was still living in Arizona at that point. I was not there. I know you have. I don't know who went with you, but it wasn't me. I didn't move home until a couple months after that.
It was insane.
We've talked about it a million times.
It was insane.
It's definitely something that you've projected that I was there, but I was not. I had not moved home.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Anything else?
Now, Wyndham Clark.
There you go. Wyndham Clark.
That's my pick for the players. Can I just give a little shameless plug?
I don't know how many times we're going to – I keep asking if you've got anything else for us.
You're a golfer.
So not me.
This Sunday.
Yes.
12 to 4.
Okay.
At Golf Galaxy, right down the street from here. Come in, see me, see my buddy Brian Hubbard. Players Championships on.
Well, you can't be there until 4.
I won't be. I'll be there at 3:30 unless Maryland wins. 20% off of whatever you buy in the store, and you're out there meet and greet for FCA Golf.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
if you're a golfer and you're looking to buy grips or gloves or balls or apparel for the season, 20% off on Sunday. All you got to do is come over and say you're with FCA Golf.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Very good.
So come on over.
Get over there.
This Sunday.
And then Fairways and Greens, probably from 4 to 6 on 105.7.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
If
Maryland,
the Terps, who knows?
Yeah, they're in the Big Ten title game, then forget it. Although I think they would bump. They wouldn't bump the golf show over to Mix 106. They wouldn't do that.
Well, I
They
would
should.
have to watch the game.
That's true. You are number one fan. I understand that.
Apparently, Maryland has a 33% chance to reach the final.
How about that? According to
Torvik.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Bart
but yeah.
Torvik.
Yeah. Sorry. I do know what that is. All right. Can I dismiss you and play a commercial break?
Yeah,
or
sure.
If I do that, will you still be sitting here?
No, I got to go.
You've said that a lot of times.
Well, we got a match today.
Good luck.
Let's go. You want me to make a prediction?
No. Yeah,
So
I do actually.
it's-
with your no, not with your.
It's the first match.
Yeah, why don't you come over and talk to him?
It's a big one. I think you guys. I think they could really use this one.
Go ahead.
I think this is
You don't
important.
even know how the scoring
you gotta,
goes.
You gotta set the tone for the
You
season.
don't even know what the scoring is.
You got to set the tone, and this is the one where you can.
All right, go ahead.
So I'll go Calvert Hall 5.5.
Okay.
Curly 17.
Well, that's more points than normal, but okay.
Drew Forrester. At It's a Hooded Foreign on Twitter, Drew'sMorningDish.com. Come back in. Check in with Stan down in Sarasota. We'll let him tell you about it. That's next. This is Glenn Clark Radio.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. Hey, it's Stan the Fan Charles. For over 50 years, the Costas Inn has been a Baltimore original, dishing out their amazingly scrumptious, fat, award-winning crab cakes and steamed crabs. Every season is crab season at Costas, so make your plans now by calling 410-477-1975 and reserve your taste of heaven. Sit back, crack some crabs, and watch the Ravens chase down another title on Costas' 15 TVs. On Monday nights, Costas offers their half-pound jumbo lump crab cake with 2 sides for under $30, and there are nightly specials Monday through Friday. So head on down to the Costas Inn at 4100 North Point Boulevard or visit them at CostasInn.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Glenn Clark and I sit down for a Q&A with Orioles owner David Rubenstein, discussing what he learned from his first year as owner, his goals both on and off the field, and his involvement in baseball decisions. Also inside, Brooks DeBose profiles new Oriole Tyler O'Neill, and we meet college lacrosse players from around the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the O's, Ravens, and Terps.
Need a trophy or award that's as unique as the achievement? Look no further than Crown Trophy. With locations in Owings Mills and Gaithersburg, they specialize in custom trophies, plaques, and medals for any occasion. From sports and academic awards to employee recognition and corporate gifts, visit crowntrophy.com today and let them help you create a lasting memory for your school, team, or business. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association. crowntrophy.com.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of the program. Again, get your responses in at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, Facebook.com/Glenn Clark Radio. And one of you is going to get hooked up with a $30 gift card to Glory Days Grill just from the kindness of Griffin's heart. He just
You're welcome.
He actually picks his favorites. That's the way that it goes.
No.
It's really weird that
No.
I keep seeing that PFF Sean has won like 17 times.
No. I mean, yeah,
No?
it worked out. It did once,
Did he really?
Yeah.
How about that? How about that? He doesn't really respond much.
There was a stretch where he hasn't won now in a long time, but yeah. What?
Is he soured?
What?
Is that what happened?
No,
Is he
I mean,
soured
yeah, because he
on-
won it the one time, and he's like, oh, so you can do this every week? And it's like, well, no.
No,
There are
right.
rules.
Right.
We
So
live
then
in
he
a
was
society.
angry. Do we though? but that's a real question. Do we live in a society with rules, Griffin? Do we? I don't know if that's actually the case. Everything
If
officially.
Glenn Clark Radio doesn't enforce them, then
Right. Then who
when-
will? That's
yeah,
a great
exactly.
point. That's a great point. Who will?
Yes.
Not a lot happening today. Like the majority of the players that mattered have signed, are gone. I'm trying to even think of like who's still out there. I mentioned Leonard Floyd, I guess, is still out there. Joey Bosa went last night. DeMar Hamlin goes back to the Bills, which from a name capacity is significant. Everything officially starts today at 4 o'clock, but it's basically over at this point, which is kind of the hilarity of all of this.
Very exciting.
Right. I mentioned the Albert Breer mentioned, and we said this earlier in the week. Albert Breer said that there were 3 teams that he knew of that were offering, that had offered, or it's an awkward way of saying it. You're not technically allowed to offer anything until tampering starts. But as we keep saying, that's not the way the real world works. And according to Albert Breer, the Patriots and Commanders were both prepared to offer Ronnie Stanley $24 million or more per season. The Chiefs were offering something very similar to what Ronnie Stanley got from the Ravens, $20 million per season. This doesn't surprise me. And again, I can't guarantee that Ronnie Stanley isn't going to get hurt or that he's going to play at the level that he played a year ago. But from the simplicity of does the move make sense? It does. That's how in demand tackle help is in the NFL. These teams are aware of Ronnie Stanley's injury history. It's not like the Patriots don't know that Ronnie Stanley missed the better part of 2 seasons a few years ago. Like they're going to be caught off guard. They sign him. They give him $25 million. They're like, wait, did you guys know that he didn't? They're aware. The same way the Ravens were aware. It's just that the demand is the issue here. There's not. What is the alternative? The Chiefs turn to the guy Moore, who you have no idea who he is, and they still had to pay him an ungodly amount of money. This was going to be the case. I don't know that the Ravens wanted to pay $20 million per. I don't think that was what they were interested in doing. But the moment the Alaric Jackson deal got done at $19 million per season, the Ronnie Stanley number was going to have to be greater than the Alaric Jackson deal. It was as simple as that. And there were other teams that had a boatload of cap space that would have been happy to have had Ronnie Stanley. He had to decide that he wanted to be in Baltimore. Now, for what it's worth, it's kind of wild that he so dramatically more desired being in Baltimore than being, say, right down the street in Washington for four or so more $1 million more per season.
And I guess we don't know what the guarantees were as
Yeah,
well
I mean,
from the Commanders.
yes, it's
and
not that
Patriots or
simple,
whatever,
but I don't. It would be hard pressed to believe that they are dramatically different.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunity to make more money, even if you say, well, he might like it here, right? Well, here is not. The Commanders aren't that far away from here. And, they've got a quarterback too, and things are on the up and up for them. Ronnie Stanley clearly wanted to stay in Baltimore. That was a priority for him as well, and that makes sense. Not just from a comfort standpoint, but, Lamar Jackson's standpoint and the team is good standpoint. So there's just no, look, man, I'm the first to point out a negative. I do think it's a negative that the Ravens lost Chris Board. I do. I think that hurts them. And I don't think the number was so crazy that they couldn't have gotten Chris Board.
Was he 2 for 10?
Yeah. My inclination is that internally, their belief is we can find our next Chris Board. And they might well be right about that. But I don't think the number, it's not, if it was 10 per, of course. But at $5 million for 2 years, and what is that really? I didn't go into the details. Is it really a 1-year deal that you can have an out on? I think that one hurts because he was so helpful and such a key special teams contributor. I'll tell you.
Would it have felt different if they kept one of Malik Harrison?
But at the Malik Harrison number, I get it, right? Like, I get it. That number was more significant. I understand.
What did he end up going for?
I think it was $10 million per.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
I get it. I do. That I think that hurts them. I kind of have a little bit of a feeling. It's ironic because they're the two guys we did the shows with. I kind of have a little bit of a feeling with Arthur Millette like I had with Tyus Bowser, which is like, I get it's weird. I get there's awkwardness because of the injury, but it's also not that much money. If he's going to play football somewhere, why not see if he can't play football for you?
It was the same deal as Board.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was 5 per? I thought it was 10.
2 years.
It was
for 10
2.
million.
It was overall 10 million.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, then you're right. Then I would say do one or the other. Why did I think it was 10 per?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Board was.
Maybe I just saw $10 million and assumed.
So Board was 2 for $6 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 2 for 6. My fault. I apologize. I got it wrong. By the way, I'll be wrong again today. I'll be wrong again tomorrow.
No, you won't.
Then
Always. Never. Always right.
I believe in. That's what I talk to these teams about, accountability. I want to be accountable. I got it wrong. My fault. It's on me. No one else. There'll be plenty of things that Griffin will get wrong. And when he does, I'll tell him he gets wrong. But when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I got it wrong. Glenn Clark Radio. I'll never understand being down on Ronnie Stanley. I'll never understand being down on DeAndre Hopkins. The expectations are so low. There is a low bar here for what they need DeAndre Hopkins to clear in order for it to work. That's the way it goes. All right? So I'm on board. On board with DeAndre Hopkins. Now, we're going to head down to Sarasota. And you know that Stan the Fan Charles, Luke Jackson, down in Sarasota this week. Brought to you by 1-800-GAMBLER and HelpMyGamblingProblem.org. The Costas Inn, Live Casino and Hotel, and Easy Pass. The first question that I need to ask Stan the Fan Charles as he joins us this morning from Sarasota. Stan, how you feeling this morning, partner?
I'm pretty darn sore, Glenn, after a harrowing auto accident down here yesterday.
So I don't know the details of the story. All I got was that you were in a kind of serious car accident.
Yeah.
What's the story, Stanley?
Well, the police came to visit me in the hospital. I was at the ER at the Manatee Hospital in Bradenton. By the way, the folks at the Manatee Hospital took good care of me.
Love to hear
I was T-boned. The police officer told me that they had 5 witnesses that witnessed that car number 1 was at fault, and I didn't see him, and he T-boned me. Basically, he proceeded from a stop sign to a midway point where you're then supposed to let the traffic pass, because we had no stop sign or light, and he just barged across, and at the same time a car was blocking my vision of him coming across, because that car had done what you're supposed to do, which is come to the halfway point and stop and wait for traffic to clear. So anyway, we got T-boned. My rental car was totaled. airbags deployed. I went to the hospital. Fortunately, Luke was not injured, and he's okay.
I'm glad.
I'm pretty banged up.
I saw some of the pictures of the bruises. That did not look good, my friend.
Well, that what you saw was the bruises on my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that turned out to be nothing. That was caused by I've never had an airbag deploy on me before.
You know what, Stan? I've never had it happen to me either.
Yeah, and I hope you never do. But it happens very quickly. It potentially saves your life,
right,
and your quality of life, but causes all kinds of other injuries. Like, it's very weird. Like my left thumb. Don't ask me. I got hit on the right side, on my left side, but my right thumb was black and blue, and the thumb was sore last night, but not that painful. Today, my index finger on the right hand feels like it's broken. So we'll see. Got some shoulder blade problems on my left side. My right, using Gunnar Henderson's term, intercostal, very hard for me to get up out of a sofa or out of bed. So I'm banged up pretty good, but I'm going to make it. I'm alive, and thank goodness.
Well, that
hurt.
is good news that it wasn't worse, particularly the way that you're describing it. Are you at all worried that this is like, someone from the Yankees that didn't want you to be giving out information or something like that? They sought you out?
I did get a nice text from Mike Elias this morning, though,
nice.
wishing me a speedy recovery and telling me he heard the news that the mean streets of Sarasota and Bradenton took it out on me. But it was very nice of him. And I have to give kudos to our friend Ross Grimsley. In the middle of this, I'm at the hospital, and Ross Grimsley texts me and says, "Hey, I hear you and Luke are in town. I've been busy with my wife. She's had some medical issues and all this." He goes, "I really want to get together for dinner with you one night." So I said, "Ross, we were just in a major car accident. I'm at Manatee Hospital." He goes, "I live 10 minutes from there. I'll be right over."
Oh, wow.
So Ross came over and spent about an hour with me, and then when I was released, he gave me a ride back to the place I was staying.
That's
very nice.
We love that guy. Few better than the great Ross Grimsley. That's very kind of him.
Yeah, and I heard from Dubroff this morning and Dan Connolly. So word's gotten around, and I'm okay. I'm banged up, but I will survive. And more importantly, 3 or 4 days ago, I was a little despondent about our team.
Yeah, context, right?
But things are looking up for the Orioles the last few days.
I guess that part is true. Particularly, you bring up Gunnar Henderson. So are you is it now just maybe you ease up for the rest of the trip and just make sure we get you back in one piece? Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. We were due to leave on Saturday. Luke and I were not going to go to the game tomorrow in Dunedin anyway. We might make it to the game on Friday night. But yeah, pretty much I'm going to take the day to rest up here.
I don't blame you for that.
at the Hacienda where I'm staying.
Wow.
So all good there. But getting back to the Orioles,
Gunnar
have to be happy. Have to be happy with the starting pitching performances. I've seen 3 really good pitching performances by Charlie Morton, Tamayuki Sagano, and Albert Suarez.
So are you leaning towards the idea, Stan, that at this point that it would be Suarez that would get the 5th spot instead of Povich?
I'm not 100% sure yet on that. It's going to be interesting with Kittredge's injury. They may feel they want to fortify the bullpen more than have Povich or Suarez in that role, or maybe they'll feel that Suarez is the better choice to fortify the bullpen. Not 100% settled on that just yet, but I think the options are looking fairly decent right now, that this is going to be a very decent starting rotation.
It's always dangerous for me. Stan the Fan, battered but not beaten, with us from down in Sarasota this morning. Stan, it's always awkward for me because obviously you point out, and the numbers for both Sagano and Morton have been tremendous during the spring. We have to, of course, remind that it is the spring, right? Like, they were going to be in the rotation anyway. Like, that's clearly that they were paid money to be in the rotation. You have been, I never know because you don't know what guys are working on and you don't know who they're facing, the whole thing when you just look at numbers. But from a stuff perspective, are you buying in that Sagano in particular is ready to transition and to be able to get major league hitters out when they're trying to beat him starting in April?
Yeah, I've been impressed. Look, I've only seen him. I saw him once on television,
right?
But I saw him live the other day, and I saw him live against some fairly decent hitters. I think he pitched against the Twins, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
I'll double check that. Yeah, I'll double check.
Yeah, but they brought over like 5 guys that were real major leaguers, and he retired. I think all 9 batters he faced, and he struck out 5 guys. 3 of them looking, which was impressive. And Morton just looks like we made fun of him because a little bit of that age factor. But they paid him in Sagano. It wasn't like they paid him Andrew Heaney money or Quintana money. They paid them really decent major league money, 15 and 13 respectively, for Morton and Sagano. And along with that comes some expectation, and I'd say they're living up to those expectations currently.
By the way,
is very promising.
It was the Twins, definitively. They struck out 5 against.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they had Walner, Julian, Jeffers. They had 5 of their top lineup was a decent lineup. Yeah.
Stan, the good news: Gunnar Henderson back to swinging, and we still don't. It's not opening day is probably still out of the equation, but probably not that long after for Gunnar Henderson at this point. I think everybody's kind of of the agreement that you don't move Jackson Holliday, although I know he's been saying that he'd be willing to play shortstop if they asked him to. Have you kind of come around? Anything that you've seen down there that's changed your opinion about what they do in the short term while Gunnar Henderson is sidelined?
First of all, the last I talked to Hyde, there was talk that that they were still somewhat optimistic about opening day, but maybe that's changed. I think if it's a very short term, like a week or less, I think one of these 2 guys, Levon Soto or Vasquez, will make the team for that week, and Holliday will stick at second base.
For what it's worth,
that's my gut feeling. But they do want Holliday. I think the situation does call for wanting the options of maybe playing an Urias on a given day or pinch hitting Urias for one of the 2 of them, with Holliday moving to short within a game. But I think that Jackson Holliday is going to settle in really nicely at second base, and they don't want to muddle that. Now, if it was a 3-week or a month stay, that might change. But I think right now we're all of the opinion if he's not ready opening day, it'll be shortly after that.
Ground balls and cage again today for Gunnar Henderson, and according to Brandon Hyde, both went, quote, extremely well, unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be good news. Apparently, both Jackson Holliday and Jorge Mateo were working at shortstop today as well.
Yeah,
so.
Mateo seems to be on a track that I don't think he's going to be out that much longer, where he won't get into some game action. So that could be a possibility. I hadn't really thought of that. He does seem to be trending toward getting back into action, and he would be probably the first choice if he was physically
if he's
able
available,
to
right?
handle
No
it.
question.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
Stan, the other guy that everybody's talking about down there, of course, is Samuel Basallo, who just hits massive monster home runs that maybe haven't landed yet still.
Are you sure that's not what hit you yesterday, Stan?
There's
Was
a
it the baseball finally landing?
What started all
Yeah.
of this? Look, I
want to pump the brakes on one thing.
Right.
He hit that home run in Bradenton off of Isaac Matson.
Oh, the great Isaac Matson.
Isaac Matson acquired in the Dylan Bundy trade about 6 years ago. So we got to keep that in mind.
Right.
I don't know who he hit the home run off of at Ed Smith Stadium, but I know Ben Wagner is readying his home run call for Sam Basallo as a Sam Bam.
A Sam Bam?
So
All right. That's not bad.
Sam Bam.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
We
So,
know
he even checked it. He even checked it out with Sammy Basallo.
And Basallo gave it the thumbs up.
Said, "I like that. I like
that's
that.
cool.
I like that."
That's cool.
Yeah.
We know obviously he's not going to be on the team to start the season, but is anything about the spring that he's had made you wonder about what that timeline might be for Samuel Basallo, who I think the opinions there are some who say, yeah, he's up in September, right? Like that's when Samuel Basallo gets here. There are others that would say if he continues to mash, why wouldn't you want to have him here, particularly if there's an injury somewhere around May or June?
Yeah, I think some of that's going to have to do with how the club sees firsthand what Gary Sanchez is offering to the team. Now, Sanchez is right-handed, which is part of the reason he's acquired, but his catching still looks a little bit, underwhelming. Basallo's game, you like the way he throws. He called a ABS, challenge and won that challenge. He's, he is winning friends and influencing people down here early. He's got a very winning personality, but Jeff Tackett had a winning personality too. This guy has real big time talent, and I would not be surprised if he forces his way up. And some of that's going to have to do with how Kerstead is playing, whether he would be more offering you more out of the DH role. So we'll see. One of the things, quickly, I don't know how we are on time, but one of the things yesterday, Kobe Mayo started. And again, we agree, I think, Glenn, you and I, that he will not be on the team, at the beginning of the season, barring an injury. And I'd read his body language that he was really pressing. And yesterday he had a walk and a base hit, and he just looked really comfortable and not pressing at all. So maybe I'm reading too much into the results a little bit, but I liked seeing him get a walk, and I like that the base hit he got, and maybe he's going to turn the corner and at least finish his spring audition strongly so he gets off to a good start down at Norfolk. Because he's too valuable. He's too valuable to just evaporate,
When we talked last Friday, you kind of, at the time, and this is, in the immediate aftermath of the Grayson Rodriguez stuff, you were thinking that perhaps they'd be a bit more aggressive on the pitching hunt. Knowing what we know now, based on with Grayson, they're shutting him down obviously for this week, and then they're going to revisit. There was some reporting from Ken Rosenthal over the weekend that maybe perhaps they'd be in on a Kyle Gibson reunion, or Lance Lynn, who apparently is willing to pitch out of the bullpen. What's your gut tell you about their inclination to try to add from the outside now a few days later?
That's a really good question. Pitching injuries are so volatile now, and so there's so many of them that I'm always on the side of erring with one too many than one too few.
Yep.
So my situation, my feeling is Grayson's probably going to be down at least a month, at least. That's my feeling right now. Now, I'm not talking to the doctors or anything like that, and it certainly could be something on the equivalent to what Garrett Cole went through last year, where he didn't come back for 3 months, So I don't know exactly what's going on. But now if you have one other injury, you're really down, to the nub. So I'd have to know more about Trevor Rogers' condition, more about Chase McDermott's condition. But my guess is right now that the options out there are not overwhelming.
No.
In terms of Spencer
the free
Turnbull.
agent, the free agent options.
Yeah, the free agents, Lynn, Turnbull, and Gibson. Look, if they signed Kyle Gibson tomorrow, I'd have absolutely no problem with that. But I think they're probably going to go into the season with what they've got right now. I think they'll feel that either a Rodgers, a McDermott, or somebody else will be free that's just as good as the current three guys out there right now, or that one of them would still be available in 3-4 weeks or something like that.
Do you remember the name of the movie where Jeff Tackett caught a ceremonial first pitch from a president?
Oh, God. Is that the one? Was that the one where Michael Douglas played the president?
No, it wasn't Michael Douglas. It was, hang on a second, Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline played the president.
Yes.
I vaguely remember that. Yep.
The movie was called Dave, and Jeff Tackett played himself, essentially, catching the ceremony.
He starred as Jeff Tackett.
Correct.
Yeah.
They had to have him. Major Hollywood star Jeff Tackett.
Yep.
Stan, I'm certainly glad it wasn't worse than it could have been. Sorry you had to go through it.
Well, I'm going through it right now, but I'll get through it. One question for you: You like the DeAndre Hopkins signing?
Yeah, I mean it's at 1 year and $6 million, and knowing you've got there's so much of a trope with the Ravens and wide receivers past their prime that immediately whenever they do this, everybody just says, "Oh, this is the typical Ravens signing a receiver past their prime." Well, they're not looking for prime DeAndre Hopkins. This is the nice part. They've got their top two receivers. This makes all the sense in the world for a third wide receiver.
This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade on Nelson Aguilar.
Exactly right. That's so. I can't imagine. There are people that just want to be negative for the sake of being negative, and I hate when I talk to those people. And this is the way the world works. I think most everyone understands why this makes sense. If you think you're getting DeAndre Hopkins, then you're going to be disappointed by it. But if you keep it in the context of exactly what you just said, Stan. Is this a better version of Nelson Aguilar? Can this be Odell Beckham from 2 years ago, maybe plus, like a little bit better than Odell Beckham from 2 years ago? I think they can get that from DeAndre Hopkins at this point in his career. Yeah. And they paid $15 million for Odell Beckham. They only have to pay $6 for DeAndre Hopkins. That's a win.
Yeah, this is pennies on the dollar to me.
100%
for the value they got. Do you expect them to do anything else in free agency?
Yeah, they still need some interior O-line depth. They need a veteran in that group. I don't think they like somebody would say they need a Patrick McCary replacement. You can't find it. We'll never fully appreciate how insane it was that Patrick McCary was able to play every position along the offensive line. That's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts that he could do that. They're not going to get that, but they need someone that can play multiple positions that's a veteran. So they need to bring somebody in like that. I am interested in Leonard Floyd, who was released. I could see that being the type of move that they would consider.
Yeah, that does sound like something that makes sense.
Veteran edge rusher who had 8.5 sacks a year ago. He was productive, and it wouldn't cost them anything compensatory pick-wise to bring him in. And they got to find an inside linebacker special teamer type because they lost both Malik Harrison and Chris Board. So they got to find somebody in that department. And look, we all thought the secondary was a strength a year ago, but all of a sudden, you're going to look around and say you don't have that many cornerbacks. You got Marlon Humphrey, you got Nate Wiggins, and it kind of falls apart from there. So they're going to have to address that. I think they'll do that in the draft, but they'll need to do that as well. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be big name guys. I don't think there's going to be another DeAndre Hopkins coming in, but I think they're going to look at those areas in the next couple of weeks.
All right. Well, we appreciate our sponsors that sent us down here. You've got the reads in front of you.
100%. We love 1-800-GAMBLER and helpmygamblingproblem.org. Costas Inn, of course, we know we love, and we are only a few days away at this point from the debut of the brand new Costas Inn. We are very excited.
Is it looking like
that.
April 1st?
That's what I was to understand.
Yep.
It's looking like April 1st.
I'll have to check in with Nick and Pete today.
Please do. Let them know. Then we need to talk to them next Friday if that's the case.
And we also
Live
thank,
Casino and Hotel. Yep.
Live Casino Hotel and Easy Pass.
100%.
The sponsors. And Luke and I are available the rest of the week. All right.
We will be checking in. Let us know if we can do anything for you guys. Appreciate you, buddy. Glad it's not awful. Glad it's not the worst.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you, Glenn. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely,
Bye.
pal. Stan the Fan Charles checking in. Yeah, I sent a picture from the hospital yesterday. I said, boy, oh boy. And he's like, but I can come on. I'm like, Stan, if you just need to lay down, like, we will understand.
Stan's a soldier, you know.
Yeah,
that.
he's a trooper. He's a trooper. He was hell-bent on it. Texted me a couple times last night. I'm like, I know I'm going to be sore, but I'm telling you, I can play through it. He said, all right, Stan, we'd love to catch up, have that conversation. And he's bullish about Tomoyuki Sagano. We do like that. All right.
My friend, he wants Kevin Zeitler to come back.
I didn't even realize. Was Kevin Zeitler only a one-year deal in Detroit?
Yeah,
I didn't realize
he's
he was
an unrestricted free agent.
I would assume that he's still looking for a definitive starting role, and I don't know that the Ravens
will promise that.
Will go there, yeah. And I know that somebody would roll their eyes at that and say, "What, you got to protect the job for Daniel Faalele." I understand your feeling, I do, but they would say, "Yeah, we got younger for a reason. We're not changing that." I think the veteran they'll be looking for will be someone that knows it's not a starting role for it's. They're here to fill multiple roles.
Yeah.
It's funny because I didn't realize our old buddy Bradley Bozeman was a free agent again this year. Like that would have been, someone. Obviously, we think of Bradley as a center, but I think he would have the ability to play guard. Like that's. They drafted Nick Samak a year ago. I think that they would say that he's their backup center at this point. I think. So I don't know that they're specifically looking for someone that needs to be a center. I think they're just looking for somebody that they would have some flexibility with.
Tristan Colon Castillo's out there.
But has he played anything besides center?
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, no.
I mean, did he play a little bit of guard? I guess he played a little bit of guard.
Fine.
I don't think it needs to be a former Raven. Also, I think because we know
because
this is what happens.
I'm looking at the list of offensive linemen.
And we don't know
I don't know who that is.
Who any of them are.
Oh, he was in Baltimore.
Right, but we know that guy because he was in Baltimore. That's really what happens this time every year. And it's not just...
No, Josh Myers. I went to high school with Josh Myers.
Really?
Hey, Josh Myers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, that's wild.
No, not that Josh
All
Myers.
right. This Josh. We don't talk about this Josh Myers. Got some questions about that fella. I don't know what the order is for attacking these things too. By the way, like they definitely are going to have to add. They might say we're going to draft a cornerback pretty early, and we're going to consider someone who might still not have been cut yet. Like it might be that they're so comfortable with the two that they're good. I think they need another reliable corner, and. I'm trying. Could it be Tre'Davious White? Like, did he play well enough last year that you say to yourself, like, I think you need to do better than that with your third.
I would think so as well.
I don't know.
I mean, it feels if the draft were tonight, it feels like it'd be hard to get off DB or corner.
Well, I mean, with the only argument being that like the edge rush class is apparently so deep that maybe the edge rusher that's there at 27 is like that they think Mike Green is, the 15th best player in the draft, and they just say we have to have that guy. I don't know, but yes, to the point. Like, what would the biggest priority be? They have to have a corner. They have to. They don't. And you could say they have to have another safety because you want Kyle Hamilton playing a different way. They might really look at last year and say, or we want Kyle Hamilton. Did you see how good the defense was when Kyle Hamilton was just doing that? Why do you want us to change that? Like, I don't know. I don't know the way that they feel about the safety. We have spoken that the idea that they're going to prioritize safety so that Kyle Hamilton can go back to being the Swiss Army knife, and it makes sense that we think that way, but, I mean, they looked pretty good when Kyle Hamilton was playing safety.
Yeah.
We want him to be this absurd playmaker that
the
just
guy
does
that's,
everything.
Intercepting passes in the backfield and pick sixes.
I think he was tweeting recently about being an edge rusher. Like, it sounds great. I don't know. The defense was really good when he was just playing safety. I don't know. I think that they want to get a safety as well, but look at what's out there. Tell me what that answer is. Tell me who that guy is. Now again, they found Ardarius Washington on their own roster. They were like, "Hey, who's this guy now?" So that could be the route that you go to find it, but we'll see. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back Tre'Davious White. I wouldn't be.
Ronald Darby obviously got cut, but Jacksonville.
And look, certainly worked out here. Didn't work out as well in Jacksonville, but there were higher expectations at that point.
Safeties, apparently Justin Simmons is back as a free agent.
Yeah, they certainly had plenty of chances to have him last year. Didn't seem to be a priority for them.
Julian Blackmon from the Colts.
I mean, there was a time where I thought he was good. I have no idea what he is at this point.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly tell you.
And he's young. Like that's why it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, very good. You want to get a tidbit?
Tony Jefferson.
How old is Tony Jefferson at this point?
41,
right? I don't think he's 41 now. But like he was
Feels
out,
like it.
He was legit out of the league for multiple seasons.
I think it was like a full year off.
1 full year. Okay, out of the league, then came back.
And then
I don't know. All right, yeah, let's get a tidbit. We're just naming guys now, and don't get me wrong. That's what all boys like to do is just name football players. That's why we do a fantasy draft.
Tom Zbikowski, bring him back.
Around. Yeah, go ahead. Chad Demps. You think I can't win this game, dog? You don't have the years.
Jawan Landry.
Jawan? Is that what you just made? Somebody named Jawan Landry?
Was it Dewan?
Dewan Landry.
Right, that's what I said.
Dewan. No, it's not. That's the funny
What's
thing.
What's Corey
about
Ivy up to?
Yeah, he was more of a corner.
Yeah, but we can use corners.
Haruki Nakamura.
That's a good one.
You're going to bring back Haruki. You think you're going to win this game.
How about Ed Reed?
Do you think you're going to? Okay. Let's go right. James Trapp. Yeah? What do you know about James Trapp?
Chris McAllister?
That's definitely, you're just naming corners now. Just ran out of safeties and you went right to corner. What you got? You don't got anything. Stop.
Matt Elam?
Matt Elam was a safety.
I think he's got unfinished business.
He's got unfinished. He sure does. Wasn't he working at like a hat store?
Good for him.
Isn't that I'm right
glad he's working.
Didn't we find out that he was working at like a Lids?
Oh, really?
I mean, he might have been doing something else. I don't. That might have just been for funsies.
And Foot Locker, maybe.
Was it Foot Locker? He was working at a hat store or something like that. Working at a shoe store. But it was just during. It was when he was still like making money.
Tony Jefferson's.
He was working at
33. What?
He just retired young. He was working at a finish line in Gainesville. That's what it was. And he was 22, and he was in the off season, and he just wanted to do it because apparently he had a dream to open his own sporting apparel retail store.
I'm glad he finished one of his dreams. Yeah.
Well, we don't know if he ever opened a store or not. We don't know that.
I thought you were gonna say we don't know if he dreamed of being a football player.
Yeah, we have no idea. I did a bit one day. There was an old jersey store in the Towson Town Center, and I don't think it's there anymore. It was in the lower level. But I was there one day, right around Christmas time, like for something. I don't remember what I would have been buying at the jersey store, and I was going through the like 50% off rack, and it was like legitimate players. It was, like. Guys that weren't on the team, Jonathan Ogden, like was on the 50% off. I'm like, somebody would like a Jonathan Ogden jersey for 50% off. And I'm going through, and in the 50% off rack, they had still then a Raven, Matt Elam.
Wow.
Like not guy that had moved on. Guy that was still on the team, but the jersey was available for 50% off. All right, let's get that tidbit. Tidbit is
Rod Woodson. Yeah,
he did play safety in Baltimore. He was definitely a corner for most of his career, but in Baltimore he played safety. Yeah. You just looked that up on the internet, though. You didn't.
No, I remember Rod Woodson pops up.
Tidbit is brought to you today by the print issue of Press Box, which is available for free at your neighborhood Royal Farms and the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box. Read it all, PressBoxOnline.com. David Rubenstein on the cover. Stan and I did sit down for a lengthy Q&A with the Orioles owner. Go pick that up right now at your neighborhood Royal Farms.
I guess Samari Roll was a corner as well.
I still have an interview that we got to do.
Gonzaga is inevitable in the WCC. They beat St. Mary's last night, and they became the first Division I team in the last 25 seasons to win a game in which they scored less than 60 points. They shot under 10% from 3 on over 15. Hold on, wait for the next one on the three-point shooting. Under 10% from 3 on over 15 three-point attempts. And they got out-rebounded by 15.
How did they win?
Because they're Gonzaga. They're inevitable.
I didn't watch.
They beat St. Mary's 58-51. Teams that had,
Oh, Michael Pierce is retiring.
Oh, really?
I'm bummed about
Talk him out of it?
I love Michael Pierce, man. Everybody knows one of my favorite people. Look, in talking to him the last couple of years, like he was really enjoying the idea of starting a family and going that route. God damn. After he had that pick, too.
Well,
After
I guess that's why.
the singular highlight of his career. Oh, I'm going to be so bummed if the Ravens win the Super Bowl and Michael Pierce doesn't get to be a part of it. Michael Pierce makes it official. He's announced his retirement.
I'm sure he'll be banging on a shield or something. Right?
I really love Michael Pierce. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Gonzaga, yeah. Last 25 seasons, teams that under 60 points scored, under 10% from three, out rebounded by minus 15 on the boards. 0-121 over the last 25 seasons. Gonzaga wins last night by 7.
Did they like have a free throw disparity or something? Like
no, they just St. Mary's did not make it 3, so that's the next one.
So they were just worse.
Yeah,
Gonzaga was really bad, but
the teams combined for 1 for 31 from 3. Gonzaga made 1 3. St. Mary's went 0 for 16.
It's like a 2024 Maryland Penn State game.
The combined 3-point percentage of 3.2%, lowest in any Division I game since actually kind of recent, January 2020, when Tennessee and Vanderbilt combined to go 1 for 33 from beyond the arc.
Tough to watch. That's really tough to watch.
That comes from Jared Person, but yeah, that was some interesting, some quirky college basketball for you last night. DeAndre Hopkins,
yes,
pretty good at football. Now a Raven, if no one heard.
He's the active leader in something. Is he the active leader in
yards?
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out
touchdowns?
what it was. Maybe it was yards then. I decided to go with touchdowns because he's not the active leader in touchdowns.
He's not.
I wanted to go with he has scored 83 touchdowns since coming into the league in 2013. That is the 7th most rushing or receiving.
He's the active leader in
receiving yards.
Receiving yards.
Okay,
yes.
got it. We can do that one next.
And the Ravens have now the active leader in both receiving and
rushing.
Yards,
wow.
yes.
All right. Yeah, they're putting together a pretty good team.
It doesn't
here.
really mean anything, but
he has his 83 touchdowns are rushing and receiving. I don't know if he has a rushing, but are the 7th most among active guys, rushing and receiving. What 6 guys have more touchdowns? Again, rushing or receiving.
Among active guys. Okay. Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry has 111. That is the most among active guys.
I don't have a pen. What happens to our pens?
Did Drew come in and steal it?
Or it could have been the podcast yesterday. I don't know, but there were never any pens whenever I need one. Just float. I don't want a permanent pen. God, fine. It's fine. I got it now. No, it's too late. I got it now.
I feel like I restock the pens like almost.
Well, you're gonna need to do it
bi-weekly.
again. There's pens in that cabinet.
I know, but I restock it. Derrick Henry number 1.
Thank you. Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is number 2. 106 for Michael Evans.
How about? Am I going? I'm combing through. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is number 3.
How about? Oh, now there's pressure.
There's the 3 guys with over 100 touchdowns since 2013.
This is pressure.
Looking for number 4.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce is top 10, but he is 9th.
Damn, I was doing so well.
80 touchdowns for Travis Kelce.
How about Alvin Kamara?
Alvin Kamara is ahead of DeAndre Hopkins. He is 6th.
Okay.
86 for Alvin Kamara.
Still counts. Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill is 4th. Wow. 90 something. I just clicked away from it. 95 for Tyreek Hill.
There's not like a good. There's not a really good option to me now. How about like these guys? I think are too young. I want to try like Jonathan Taylor's too young. Saquon Barkley I think is still too young. Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey is 2 behind DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, God. 81 for Christian McCaffrey.
And hurt.
This other guy.
Adam Thielen?
Not Adam Thielen.
Okay.
Thielen is 20th. 66 touchdowns among active guys. Although maybe this, for some reason, they still list Todd Gurley on here. He's
definitely
he
not
79,
active.
so maybe move every guy up.
Okay,
They also list Antonio Brown, so bump every guy up.
Definitely
2
not
spots
active
after
players.
outside the top 10.
Until we find out the next guy that you have is active that's not active.
So this guy's definitely active because he is on a team. I don't think you can name the team that he is on. He's only 29 years old.
Only 29 years old.
And he has 88 touchdowns, the fifth most among active guys.
Couldn't name the team that he's on. On a team. Okay. 29. I was gonna. Nope. No, it's not him. Austin Eckler?
Not Austin Eckler.
I can't name that. Is he still on the Commanders?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He is 13th.
So it's not Nick Chubb.
Not Nick Chubb.
Zeke?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Is it?
Has 88.
Is he still
touchdowns.
a Charger?
Yeah, he is. Okay. So yeah. He signed on the last day of the season.
Legitimately, yes. I didn't know if he had maybe found a new home since that point.
He is still a Charger at the moment.
Why do they want him? All right, very good.
Well, yeah, they got Najee now.
Yeah.
Mr. 1,000
But,
yards.
I mean, like, why would you want him over, like, Gus Edwards?
How old is Gus? I don't know.
Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, because Zeke technically, he hasn't had, like, a significant injury ever.
I know, but he's just not good.
Like, yeah, but he's 29.
They've given the Patriots gave up
Gus
on him.
is also 29.
The Cowboys gave up on him. The Chargers, but maybe we'll have something.
But yeah, those are the 6 guys ahead of DeAndre Hopkins.
Very good. Let's get tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right, here's what's coming up tonight, totally tubular-wise. You're about to hear from Lysander Rehnstrom. Navy taking on Americans. CBS Sports Network, 7 o'clock for the Patriot League title and a berth in the NCAA Tournament. Coming up in a little bit, Navy, Florida women's lacrosse, 1 o'clock on ESPN+. Penn Loyola women's lacrosse at 6 o'clock. MEAC tournament tonight. UMES plays Norfolk at 6, and Coppin takes on South Carolina State at 8. Well, it probably won't be at 8, a little bit after 8. Also on ESPN+. If you're MLB TV subscriber, Atlanta audio broadcast for Braves-Orioles today, 105. Ian Anderson, Dean Kramer, the pitching matchup. Big Ten Tournament on Peacock, Minnesota Northwestern, 3:30, as well as Ohio State, Iowa at 6. That's the one that might matter because that's the quadrant for Maryland. And then Rutgers, USC at 8:30. All the rest of the college basketball you can find at glennclarkradio.com, and it's a lot. 2 more tickets to the NCAA Tournament. I mentioned 3, actually, because it includes the Patriot League. But the Southland Championship, McNeese and Lamar at 5 o'clock. And the Big Sky Championship, Montana, Northern Colorado at 11:30. Both of those on ESPN2. On TNT and True TV, Sabres Red Wings 7:30, Ducks Hockey Club at 10, ESPN is Thunder Celtics at 7:30, T-Wolves Nuggets at 10. Yeah, if you're going to bitch about the fact that nobody ever talks about the Thunder, they're on national TV, maybe watch them. Tennis Channel for more Indian Wells starting at 2 o'clock, and MLB Network, Rays Tigers 1, Angels White Sox 4, TBS AEW Dynamite at 8. Non-sports.
Abbott Elementary tonight on ABC, Survivor and Amazing Race, of course, on CBS, of Celebrity Jeopardy. Mina Kimes is in the quarterfinals of Celebrity Jeopardy.
It's also, with all due respect, I like Mina, celebrity.
What do you mean? She's on TV every day.
Celebrity. Go ahead.
What else we got here? Of course, John Mulaney's thing. Everybody's live with John Mulaney at 10 tonight on Netflix. So make sure you don't forget, set your alarms, I guess. I don't know.
Something.
Your favorite, Temptation Island, Season 9, also out on Netflix today.
I love it because they sing Ain't Too Proud to Beg. They just get everybody together and they're like, I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Moana 2 is streaming on Disney Plus now today, so you can check Moana 2 out now.
I don't know if the kids saw Moana 2 or not. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what I saw.
We're in that really weird place where they're still kind of into animated movies, but also like too cool for animated movies.
Gosh, come on, tell them to grow up.
It's
a weird movie. It's a good movie.
It's a weird, but they still like them, but they gotta kind of pretend they don't. It's a whole thing.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Great duo on Fallon tonight. It is, of course, Paul Rudd And he's going to be with our boy here.
Respectfully, I seen your titties on the internet, so I can't really take you serious.
Plugging Moana 2. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's what.
it there. Yeah.
And then Dennis Leary and Ray Nicholson will be on Kimmel.
They are plugging Novocaine.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Actually, Ray Nicholson is in Novocaine. So
is he? Damn. Damn. Son of a bitch.
Paul Rudd is actually in a movie called Death of a Unicorn.
Yeah, they've been talking. I've seen plenty of that.
I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen a whole lot of it until this week.
I've seen
but
lots.
yeah, it's in theaters Friday. His daughter is Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
And they kill a unicorn or something, and then bad things happen. And so,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it, but
I don't know.
I've seen
Paul
lots
Rudd,
about it.
Jenna Ortega.
Yep, I'm not going to watch it.
Well, why not?
Yep.
And yeah, that's it. Those are the highlights.
I've also seen a lot for the parenting. I've been because I was watching Gemstones and I was watching White Lotus. They've been pushing a lot for the parenting with Brian Cox. It's like a horror comedy.
Oh yes, yeah.
And it's Brian Cox and what's his face?
It's a great. Yeah, it looks.
Dean Norris,
Lisa
from
Kudrow,
Breaking Bad.
Falco.
Yeah,
It
a lot
actually
going
looks
on in
pretty
there.
good. I think that's Friday, and it's
I don't know.
going straight to HBO Max.
That's
though,
the
so
thing. I don't know how good it's that thing where like I got the funny feeling that the premise we like and we like the people involved, so we're like okay, Dean Norris who played Hank in Breaking Bad is in this as well. So I like the people involved, so I'm inclined, but
apparently we get a naked Brian Cox in
that's
it.
Right.
So,
that's right. Just hanging out in the wind. Thanks today to Drew Forrester, I guess. Thanks to Stan. Thanks to Danan Hughes. And thanks to Lysander Rehnstrom, who you're about to hear from. We'll get all of it up in the greatest hits section of the
Can You Take Me Higher?
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. On the program tomorrow, Maryland football legend G. Roy Simon, who is now taking over as general manager for revenue sharing and we're going to find out, really, what his role is. And it's not just with Maryland football. It's also for basketball and women's basketball. The great G. Roy Simon, one of the greatest receivers in Maryland history, will join us tomorrow to talk about his new role with the school. And also coming up tomorrow, Jameer Young, who just made his NBA debut last week. Former Terp. We'll see how he feels about this year's team and what it was like to get on the floor in the NBA. So we will talk to him as well. And, of course, stuff and things. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, Cruise Maryland, Crown Trophy, Easy Pass, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, The Cost of Sin, MSAA Maryland Sports, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Navy Hoops. Go Coppin. Duke sucks. And speaking of Navy Hoops, we wrap up with their captain, Lysander Rehnstrom. Had to do this a little bit earlier on because they're getting ready for a big game tonight, but let's catch up with them right now here on GCR. Well, tonight down in D.C., the Patriot League Tournament championship game, Navy taking on American. It's a pleasure now to be joined here on GCR by the captain of the Navy basketball team and the captain of captains at Navy. He is Lysander Rehnstrom, and he is with us now on the program. Lysander, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be on and excited to do this interview with you.
I can only imagine how excited you are. And look, just take me through, starting in February, this team, this stretch that you guys have been on that's led you to this point. Was there something that, like, in particular clicked? Is there a proverbial, like, moment where it all came together that you put together this stretch where you've only lost one game? Or is it sort of like, hey, we're doing the same things, that we just got better results?
Yeah, I don't know if there's been a moment. I think this team, we have a young team, and we started to come together. We started to really embrace what we're about. I think we found our team identity, and that's to play physically, to get after people and be aggressive. And when we figured out who we were, the winning just kind of came with.
Did you, like, when you say that, right, was there anything in particular, like a conversation, anything at all that stood out to you?
I think one of the big defining moments of our season were the two Army wins, but specifically that second one at home for the M-Star. That second Army win was a big one for us from an emotional standpoint, from a coming together, from representing the name on the front of the jersey. Everything we wanted happened that game, and then we really started to believe.
And look where we are now. One game away from the NCAA tournament, having won 7 out of your last 8. Like I said, you're going up to Bucknell on Sunday, right? And that was a heck of a battle. But what did it take? Like, what was it to you that was most key that allowed you guys to go on the road and get a big win like that, besides Austin just making like 1,000 free throws?
Well, obviously it helps when Austin Benini gets 20 or 22 from the line, and he has a talent unlike nobody else in the country to get to the free throw line. But I think what it took is really, really great focus and a couple of days of preparation where everybody from number one to down at the end of the bench, super, super dialed in on the scout, on the game plan, on what we wanted to accomplish. And we knew, like, they're a super, super talented team. Player of the year, a lot of older guys, a team that was obviously the favorite being the 1 seed. It's no easy task to go win on the road, but we showed that we can win through a little bit of adversity and overcome a tough opponent in a tough atmosphere. And it's a credit to our team, and especially our young guys, and their ability to learn and pick up things really, really quickly coming down the stretch here.
We're chatting with Lysander Rehnstrom, Navy and American tonight in D.C. for the Patriot League title. Lysander, obviously you got 2 wins over American this season, including a win at American. What do you do with that? Like, do you completely ignore it? Do you have to have the conversation about how difficult it is to beat a team a 3rd time in a year? That's the proverbial thought process. Like, do you say, hey, we think that because we did this in this game, that benefits us tonight? What do you do with that information this week?
Americans got a ton of talent, but we're hungry. And I know we beat them twice this year, and yeah, we've addressed that, and we've watched our games. We've done a ton of preparation, but quite frankly, we're a hungry team right now, and we know it's going to be a hard game. It's the Patriot League Championship. Both teams want it. But when you go to war, like both teams are going to play as hard as possible, and that's the atmosphere we embrace. So it doesn't matter what happened during the regular season. We're coming after them. We're going to come after them with the peak aggression.
I imagine it can't hurt, right? Like, it can't hurt to know that you've done it. Like, that you have that file in the back. We can do this. We know we can. We've literally already done it.
Absolutely. It certainly doesn't hurt. And being confident stems with, one, having success against this team, but also having the humility to understand, like, just because we did get them doesn't mean we can ease up on our preparation.
No doubt. All right. A lot of times when I have Navy athletes on the show, I'll have conversations, and they always knew they wanted to go to the academy. It was the only place they wanted to be. You started off this is not the traditional path to the Naval Academy. Most guys don't transfer into the academy from, what people would call higher level programs. Can you walk me through the decision? You start at George Mason, you're in the A-10, and then the academy of all places. What's the story there?
Yeah, the story is it's an interesting one for sure. I think it's been an unbelievable 5 years of college basketball, but it ultimately started actually my senior year of high school. Senior year of high school, I got injured pretty badly in a basketball game. I ended up in the ICU for a little bit, and coming out of the hospital, I didn't know if I was going to be able to play college ball or not. So that's how I ended up at George Mason. I knew the staff there well, and I called them and I said, hey, give me a chance. Let me walk on. And that's how I ended up at George Mason, as a walk-on that year. Then when the staff there was let go, I got really fortunate enough to be put in contact with the staff of the academy. And I had no idea what I was getting into, quite frankly. The rigor of the school, joining the military, it was so foreign to me. I have no military in my family. I showed up day one, and they buzzed my head. They started yelling at me, and everything was going a million miles an hour. So, no, it was certainly not my my plan since I was 3 years old, and I was the military brat growing up. It's an incredible journey to now be in a position where I'm at now, team captain, Naval Academy, one game away from March Madness. I could have never imagined it in a million years.
That's really cool, man. Was there a transition for you? Like, at first, was there any reluctance to it? Like maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this is too much that you had to gradually ease into, or
Absolutely. Obviously, we have our own boot camp called Plebe Summer, and no matter how good an athlete you think you are, it is physically and mentally demanding. And there were certainly times over that Plebe Summer where I was telling myself, like, go meal to meal, get to lunch, get to dinner. All right, make it to next day's breakfast. And then even after getting out of that, going through my plebe year at the academy is rigorous, and it's rigorous on purpose. Even as athletes, like we're balancing being students, being athletes, and being members of the military. There's a lot being thrown at us. And there are certainly times where, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd be like, wow, I can't believe I go to the Naval Academy. And other times where I'm like, God, I wish I wasn't at the Naval Academy. But in all honesty, now being a senior and getting ready to commission in the United States Marine Corps, I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity.
So
I've grown up and I've learned so much about myself that any other school in the country, I just wouldn't have developed into the man I am today.
Okay, but what you just said there is the part that blows me away. You go from like, I'm not sure that this is the place for me to, I'm gonna join the Marines. How do you make that jump from like a little bit of I'm not sure to now I'm gonna go be a Marine?
Well, as a Division I athlete, I obviously pride myself on enduring and being physically challenged. So there's no place like the Marine Corps when it comes to dealing with adversity and overcoming that with a team of guys is really the emphasis as well. I've had incredible teammates that have gone on to be great Marine officers, and that was kind of the first hint as, okay, maybe this is for me. And the more I learn and the more the Marine Corps shows me like what they're about, how they value being on a team, being physically active, always being supportive of each other. It's just like being on a basketball team. And that's what I want in my career. Like you only play basketball so many years, but you can always be on a team. And there's no better team than the United States Marine Corps.
That's cool. That's really cool, man. Well, obviously, let me make sure I say thank you for making that commitment, because that is truly an incredible thing to do, man, for you to make that decision to serve that way. And we are glad that there are humans like you that are willing to do that. Like I said, with that in mind, right, like you're the captain and then the captain of captains for Navy athletics, right? Like the captain of all of the captains. Tell me about that, how that came to be, why that was something that you were interested in doing, and what does that mean? Because I know it's a really important role at the academy.
Yeah, that's, again, something I never would have imagined in a million years. So all of the team captains, after we get selected on our respective sports, we get together paired with the company commanders who are in charge of the companies. So for people who aren't familiar, the Naval Academy, I don't live with my teammates. I live with my company mates, and I've done so for 4 years. So very close bonds kind of with both groups. So the team captains and the company commanders, we all go to Gettysburg on a leadership retreat. And it's an opportunity to get to know each other, the leadership of the brigade, and also talk through some of the issues that we anticipate facing. And it's there at that leadership retreat where they brought all the team captains together. They let us interact, and they kind of put it to a vote. There's, plenty of really, really capable individuals who all could have done an absolutely fantastic job as captain of captains. And I was fortunate enough to be selected from an incredible group of really talented individuals and even more talented athletes. And in that role, as captain of captains, I try to facilitate all sports. Like you said, I represent more than just the basketball team. I try to represent all student athletes at the Naval Academy from a military standpoint, making sure that they're, one, adhering to the military responsibilities, not forgetting that we are more than just athletes. We are midshipmen, but also making sure that leadership knows we're competing at the highest level. We're getting ready to go win a Patriot League championship and go to March Madness. And there's a lot that comes to that, that sometimes the military side of the house needs to make accommodations to make sure that athletes are getting the support that they need to go and compete at the highest level of Division I athletics. So that's kind of my role as captain of captains.
And I appreciate, and to the point that you made earlier, like the unique difficulties. No one, I mean, I guess maybe at West Point or out in Colorado, they might understand a little bit, but like nobody else in the country can possibly understand all of the demands of, everything that you all are going through on a day-to-day basis. So yes, they need to have someone to vocalize that, to say, hey, we still, like, mental health is still real. Like, we still have a lot of demands. We still need to be represented. That's a powerful thing for you to be doing.
Absolutely. And it's important that you mentioned mental health. I think the Academy is a unique school where people think like, oh, it's the military and it's the Naval Academy. So they're all a bunch of, really strict, disciplined Navy SEALs. And it's not the case. Like, we're actually in a support system at the Naval Academy that is really, really appreciative of what we bring to the table as student athlete midshipmen. The amount of care that goes into our development, both as athletes and as future leaders, is unrecognizable to other institutions. And there's disadvantages to playing sports at Navy, but there's certainly a lot more advantages. And the mental health support, the leadership training, the development that gets poured into us just makes us 10 times better athletes, and just more appreciative of like all the work that goes into our education and the forming of military officers.
That's great stuff, man. All right. What it would mean to you, you mentioned it a couple times, Lysander Rehnstrom, for you to be able to wrap up your athletic career, cutting down nets tonight in D.C., and then celebrating with your team on Sunday and going to play in the NCAA tournament.
It's speechless right now is how I feel given that opportunity. And I mean, you nailed it. It would mean a lot to me, but celebrating with my teammates afterwards would mean a whole lot more. I want this moment. I want it for them. I want it for them again next year when I graduate. Like, this is an incredible, special group of guys that have come together at the right time, and we're playing our best basketball, and we hope to do so deep into March. And there's no better place to do it than at Navy.
We love all of the sounds of that. Lysander, you're such an incredible human being, and we are so grateful that you are stepping up and representing our country, and we can't wait to see what you guys have in store tonight and moving forward as you bring up in the March. Are you anywhere on social media that Navy fans can be giving you a follow?
Actually, no. I deleted all of my social media. I've been locked in for a couple of years now, but I do have a LinkedIn, I guess, if people want to follow me there.
Oh, good, dude. Good for you. I'm so jealous. I hope to get to that day at some point to get away from the cesspool. Lysander, congratulations on everything you've accomplished, man, and best of luck tonight and moving forward. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome. And beat them one more game tonight.